No, who knew it was in G? Good God. Hello. So, we wait with bated breath for somebody to come in. Looking at you, home. Oh dear. Yeah. Yeah, I was in love the very, very first time I saw one. I just went, oh, that's so stylish. I really want it. So, well, we found a guy with one. It's just a matter of hoping. So the guy parts with it. It's been sitting in the garage for like, oh Christ, I don't know, a few decades, and it needs a lot of work. I think there's absolutely no boot floor in it. So, but I can weld. I can MIG weld, TIG weld, arc weld, gas weld, qualified panel beater. Sorted. You know what I mean? So hopefully I'll get it for, reasonable money. I know he'll want a bit for it because they're not exactly, falling out of trees or anything. So, and that's fair dues. That's fair dues. I'll pay him what he wants for it. Because a fully restored Riviera today, many penny Benny. Oh dear me. So I think everything's working. Yes, Manny, it will be indeed. In fact, I can show you all the scarring I've got on both arms from MIG welding. They didn't supply us with leather gauntlets. We just have the little short leather gloves. So of course, when I get sunburnt, you can really see them, just thousands of these white burn scars all over my arms. It's really weird. So, it worketh. It worketh. It worketh. It worketh. It worketh. Probably because I don't have a cat in here. I'm not pointing fingers. Although I must admit I do have a husky that jumps up here quite regularly and then adjusts the X32, mutes channels, and little moo. She always does it when I'm not looking. So it's just me here at the moment. Anybody coming in? Have a chat. No subject too small. No, I can't put my lighter there. It tries to play violin. I'm going to treat myself to a cigarette. It'll only be my fourth today. The good news is, at one time of day this would have been my 40th, so I still see it as a win, if you see what I mean. I'll tell you something I do that's quite weird. When I'm talking to you, I'm looking at the chat when actually the camera's up there. What the hell? I should put the camera there, and it'd make more sense. Because it looks like I'm talking to somebody off camera, as it were. Actually, that is exactly what I'm doing. So, let's just make this up. And now, this just in. Aha, see what I did there?
Yes, I did.
I bet you've never heard that before.
Actually, I have.
No, surely not.
About 5 pubs ago.
Oh, yeah. Oh dear, recycling material. That's not good. Oh.
It's wrong to love an instrument, like, too much.
Uh-huh. And there's also loving one particular patch too much.
Yes.
Because it's always there. It's just
Actually,
always there.
mine's on the second page of favorites.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, because the first page is, like, the stuff that I'm going to use, like, the most often.
Oh, that's nice.
So that is, let's see, Multi M1009.
Oh, yeah.
It is called Icy Brass.
Where does that normally reside?
That's where it normally resides. So it's a multi.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
So M1009.
So look. M1.
It kind of has a bit of D50 meets almost an 80 brass. Yeah, that one.
That's nice, I like it. Oh,
It's very 80.
it's that guy that used to work at Emu.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, there he is. That furry guy that used to work at Emu.
Yeah. Who happens to be my favorite.
Andy.
Eddie ho.
Hey,
Sycophantic fuckers.
how come it's always daylight round where you are?
I'm like that. I control the weather.
I see.
Mm. Yeah, that's exactly.
Excuse me.
I'm not staying long today, but I saw Justin was it. I've got to be up early, but I saw Justin was in. Justin, I listened to your single.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, go and listen to it. It's really good. It's really good. I'm going to be buying the album.
Awesome.
Good man.
Coming out Wednesday.
Is it? Yeah, I saw that. I was going to buy the single, and I thought, no, I'll buy the album. And yeah, no, very good, very good. Love the lead sound.
Oh, thank you.
Love that lead sound. Your
It's Elton John.
Still...
Where's the lead sound? It's this lead sound.
Oh,
That
yeah.
one.
Git. What a git. Yeah, no, it's very good. It's very, very good. I had to tell you. And Ken,
Aww.
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
when's your album coming out? Yeah, you read both. Andrew,
Yeah, I thought it was clear enough.
Yeah.
Your album, your duet with Justin, when that's coming out? That's what?
Oh, I don't. I'm not worthy. I have stuff on Bandcamp. That's as far as I go. So.
Oh, I'm definitely not worthy, but that's okay. I'm going to put some out and make the world suffer.
That's a different approach.
I realised that the last time I actually put anything out at all that was out there for the world to hear and new, and we were playing it, was 2017. And 7 years have just gone, and I just don't know where the flipping heck they've gone. I don't.
Christ almighty.
So yeah, I'm on a mission at the moment. I'm gonna do a whole album in the key of R, I think.
Oh.
Just do a John Cage type album. So it's just silence,
Yeah, that'll work.
Right? It's an art
Just
piece.
don't call it the sound of silence. That might confuse some people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. What is that then?
Just call it the soundtrack of your life, and it's all silence, and people can just hear what's around them already. So.
Yeah.
And that's the first track. So now what's next?
There you go. That was a banger.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a banger. That was a banger.
That was fire.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
as the kids say today, that was fire.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't know what the kids say today. If I asked them, I'd probably get arrested for talking to children when I shouldn't.
No, they say something even more annoying, like "low key, man, that was fire."
Yeah, exactly.
I hate
Low key man, that was.
Don't
I'm
even.
still,
Yeah.
I'm still
Don't
trying
even
to
go
get
there.
over. I'm still trying to get over bad for good.
Mm.
I'm still trying to get over that.
And that was the 35 years ago, right? So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was 35 years ago. Yeah, it's wicked. Is it? How awful! No, it's wicked. No, really?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, there's sick is commonly used as well.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
sick
sick, man. That's so sick.
Yeah.
Well, I was sick a few weeks back.
Yeah, I'm sick of hearing sick, right?
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I was talking to someone about language not long ago, just before Christmas actually, and I actually love the way people adapt and make the language, the English language or different languages, their own by repurposing words and inventing words and conglomerating different words together to make new phrases or whatever. I think it's brilliant. I know I'll never stay up to date with it because my parents didn't, so I don't see why I should. But it's a brilliant thing. It's brilliant to
I
see
think we need to
language
bring
evolve.
back something from 100 years ago. That's the bee's knees.
That's not from
Mm.
100 years ago.
Was it 150? It's old.
I, I know it was in my late 50s when I first heard it. Yeah, so that was 150. Yeah, 150 years ago. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. There we go.
It's like flappers. Flappers are saying in the 20s, right?
Yeah, those are sort of more idiomatic words, though, aren't they? They're more sort of nicknames that became ran into common parlance. There's things like obmutescence, which I love. That's a good word, obmutescence.
Especially with custard.
Yeah, oh yeah, very much so. Someone rings you up. Yeah, yeah. No, but I love how English adapts itself.
I do to a point. Sometimes it's quite annoying. So.
Listen, it's intensely annoying for anyone that's even slightly creative because we're all slightly on the scale of either autism or AHD or OCD or all of those in one way or another because that's what it takes to be creative. That's part of the deal. So when people don't spell things correctly or they use
Oh
the
yeah.
wrong grammar, it drives me nuts. But I
Well,
love the fact
so
they're
somebody said
trying.
like in the chat, like I'm like and he's like and she's like, or I'm all and he's all and she's all. It's like, oh, just stop already, please.
I think, but I think everyone does that at some point in their lives. Usually, when you're a teenager, I think I used to say basically a lot
Yeah,
for
I
everything,
remember that.
basically or actually,
Yeah,
and
that became a
and I
meme. The actually.
Mm.
actually, yeah, actually, we all have those sort of full stops in our thinking, and we do the same with music as well. We all have those musical phrases that are common throughout, and we use them as punctuation
Mm.
whilst we're thinking of something else to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I do things like that, but I put things just naturally come to me, and I just say it. So, for instance, instead of saying pardon, I nearly always say "shot who in the what now."
Mm.
Yeah,
Since I
yeah,
heard it on The Simpsons, who shot Mr. Burns, and we used to just start saying it to each other instead of pardon.
but
Cause,
that whole thing when
and
you're
this is
doing
what
it with
30
someone.
odd years on, and I still go
Yeah,
"shot who in the what
yeah,
now."
but that's something. Liz and I do that all the time. We have our own
Yeah.
vocabulary, and sometimes people come in and they just look at us and go, "What the bloody hell?"
Mm.
And once upon a time, we thought we were being terribly clever. Oh, yes, I'll be mad. Everyone does it.
Yeah.
Everyone. We weren't being mad. We're just being, well, we are mad, but that's not the reason. The reason is Andrew never sends me cake.
Oh,
Ah.
What kind of cake do you want, honey?
Yeah, all right. Honey cake's fine. Good. Honey cake. Apple
Yeah.
cake.
It's like
I
the
think
Saul Rosenberg.
punctuation
cake
seems to be his problem there, Andy. Don't worry
Anything
about
you want, honey. Anything you want, sweetie cakes.
it.
Yeah, sweetie cakes. That works. That
Sweetie
works.
cakes.
You can deliver them and call me sweetie cakes whilst you're giving me sweetie cakes.
Yeah, or if you're a Seinfeld fan, Schmoopy.
Schmoopy.
I don't remember that reference. I've seen a lot of Seinfeld, but I don't remember that one.
An episode called The Soup Nazi.
Oh, that one. Okay, right.
Yeah.
I do know that. No soup for you.
Yeah, no soup for you.
Yeah.
Or in Kent's case, you don't get the money, no 80 for you.
Yeah. Yep. Mind you, I mean, some of the things that we do, I mean, you can't repeat in polite company anyway. So, to be honest with you,
Some of them you can't. I hate AI voices, particularly at the moment, because there's a lot of them voicing things for CS80s that are saying Vangelis.
Yeah.
no, you know the one where they do the video, like, it's sort of like different, an hour's worth of car crashes or something like that, and they have an AI voice describing what you're just watching anyway, right? It doesn't need an AI voice over the top, where it gets a little bit weird sometimes. You go, the car didn't like the recipe, so left the kitchen via the tree. It was like, no, the car hit the tree, mate, swerving and missed the bloke in the road. Shut the fuck in your monotone, stupid voice,
Well,
you little.
that's
twat.
almost like when you explain like a Spanish idiom or something like that, and if you say you forgot something, and there's a reflexive verb like se me olvidó el lápiz, like the pencil or something like that, right? And so it means it forgot itself to me, which is really weird.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
literal
Blaming the pencil for
translations.
forgetting itself to you.
There was a really famous around about the turn of the 19th, 20th century, or maybe just a little earlier. There was a famous book translating from English to French or German. I think French.
All right.
Oh no, to Portuguese. To Portuguese, but the speaker wasn't English and he wasn't Portuguese and he could only speak French. So we built this dictionary by doing a French, an English to French, then a French to Portuguese, and then from Portuguese back to French and French back to English. And the phrases he came up with were just brilliant. Exculpate me for to toss the hairs.
Did he also make a Hungarian phrase book? My hovercraft is full of eels.
Do you know what? I was just thinking that when I saw Steve's comment.
That came to me, and that happened. I saw that sketch way before I discovered this book. But you can find copies of this book. I will try and dig out a link to it, and I'll send you links because it's just freaking hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious.
To be fair, I have
sorry.
Before I heard Vangelis pronounced that way, I thought it was Vangelis as a kid. So that was
A lot of people pronounce it Vangelis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're all jealous of him, right?
What was it? What always fascinated me is when people say words wrong. Someone mispronounces something. I'm just trying to think. Halcyon rather than halcyon. Yeah. That used to be something I said when I was, a little ankle biter. Halcyon rather than halcyon.
Like TC Halcyon, the company.
So
that's right. ACL will always be Frank Ellis. It will always be Frank Ellis.
Yeah, is that a Dave Spears thing? Who started the Frank Ellis?
It was Chris. I think it was.
I love the Frank
answered the phone and he said, "Yeah, it's some bloke, some Frank Ellis." It was fucking brilliant.
So whenever I hear people correcting something, taking the mickey out of someone, saying, "No, I don't think you see. I don't think it sounds like that. I think what you meant was halcyon, not halcyon." I always give them shit for doing that because what it tells you is at the very least, is that the person's read that word. They've never heard it, they've read it, and they don't know how to say it. But the
They
fact
might
that
be
they're
on
reading,
it.
the fact that they're reading it, the fact that they're reading is brilliant, and you should never discourage someone from that. And just yeah.
Yeah. By the way, E-Dub, it's always been here. It's always been here, mate. You must have been looking in the opposite direction or something. I don't know. What
In
can
the
I say?
occipit. The occipit.
It's always been here. Always been here. But
It's
good
like
to
The
see
Shining.
you, bud.
You've always been here. So
Yeah. He's been here.
there's a picture of Kent in the middle of that group from the 20s.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, do you know what? I got such a... Oh yeah.
What? Big cock?
No.
No.
Oh, I tell
he's
you
a
what, it'd have to
moncock.
be pretty big to be scratching down here.
It's like Ian Simon, Longcock.
Oh, look at this itch on the front of my shin.
Oh, so that's not an avian thing. That's not some sort of bird bite then.
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
Or a tall hamster. Either way.
Good. Good. It's escaped from your bottom. And
Another word, bird for female. That's pretty funny, actually.
That was very popular in like 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
yeah,
Calling
yeah.
a woman a bird.
Bird.
There's a great Monty Python sketch
Hello,
where they're
bird.
talking to like a table, and the table's a little mouth, and it goes, "Up and not pulling the birds." And it was like,
What's this? What do you think of Excel Labs the 80? 3 or so parts CS8 plugin. Yeah.
Which
Oh
one?
no, it's the pub, isn't it? It's all right. It's the pub. It's not ProSynth Network.
Which one?
Fucking shite, mate. The Excel's one. Excel's Lab.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Honest to
Lab.
God, if there was ever a plugin that sounded like it was modelled on a broken 80, or they actually didn't have one and
"This is
guessed.
the perfect time to use it." Actually, it's Zill's Lab.
Oh, right. Here we go. Oh, okay then. Who's in the what now?
It's one of those that's been designed by people who have heard people emulating CS80s on every other synth, but not a CS80.
Oh, isn't that very good? Because some of the other stuff
No,
is great, right?
It's yeah. No, this is why I was very surprised that when it came out, Robbie played me some of it, and I just went, "What
No.
patch is that?" He goes, "Oh, that was Brass 1 and 2." I'm going, "Fuck off, it was." I said, "All right, play me Guitar 1 and 2," and he played Guitar 1 and 2 on it, and I went, "Oh man, no."
Guitar 1 and 2. Which is it? Guitar 1 or Guitar 2? Both of them are quite complex, but I think is it Guitar 2 that's madly. It uses every freaking control
Well,
on the front panel.
Guitar 1 and 2 use everything, and they mix
do,
the high pass and the low pass filters as well, and there's a precise amount of pure sine wave, because the sine wave doesn't go through the filters. It bypasses
That's
the
right.
filters and goes straight out. Hence that heavy, big bottom end that it can have.
So like that song "Hymn," that's all guitar one.
Yeah, it's Guitar 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then you can, obviously, with the balance control, you can blend them. You
blend
can
them.
have more 1 than 2 or more 2 than 1, depending on how you want it to go.
Yeah, he loved that sound. He used that all the time.
Yeah, but he had a mod done where he had an expression pedal that you could use to move the balance
blend
between bank 1 and bank 2 without having to take your hands off the keyboard. And I fitted it to a couple of other people's 80s as well. Normally, I told them about the mod.
I thought that was already built in.
No.
No. All the expression does on the 80 is volume. Ended.
Yeah, volume. That's it.
That's it. That's all it does. The rest
So that's
of it
part of
has
the
to be
official
done via the
KRS
keyboard.
mod. Is that?
No. That was because that required. Because some people got funny about putting another socket in the back.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right. They didn't mind me putting MIDI in because I put MIDI in such a way where you didn't know it had MIDI. Because the ports are hidden. They're inside the mains cable bay
Yeah.
Yeah.
and things like that. But there was the switch and the button on the side, but it made almost no difference whatsoever.
I remember one of the first CS80s I hired, and this must have been back, within months of it being released.
Oh, hang on. hang on. Wait a minute. As I said, no, it wasn't Raz, was it? It was Steve. Robbie was playing the soft tube one.
That's what I thought it was. The soft tube one.
Oh, then just ignore everything I said.
Because that was horrible.
Just ignore everything. I thought.
I was going to say,
do you know
because all
what?
the other Zill stuff is pretty good, right?
Because I'm going, oh, it's clearly one I haven't got, and the one that I haven't got is the one that Robbie was playing me, and I just automatically assumed.
I did as well.
Now you see why I don't do a synth technology show, right? This is why Robbie's in charge, and I'm just the sexy eye candy. Okay, that's all I do, along with Andrew. We're just the stereo sexy eye candy.
Yeah, I'm the chins and he's the eye candy.
So the one I was listening to apparently was the soft tube one. See, that's soft tube.
Wasn't there a review? Didn't we have it on the show? And
Yeah,
it sounded.
I thought you did.
It sounded.
No.
I thought that was the one we were talking about.
No. Wait a minute. Where's Robbie when you need him?
I don't know.
Robbie said to me, "This isn't out yet." So maybe it was the Zills one after all.
Is that the one that? Because there's one that's just being advertised now all over Facetune.
Yeah, that's
which has the AI voice on it, and it sounds.
That's the Zills one.
That's the Zills one with three oscillators, three banks.
3 banks.
What?
It doesn't sound great. It really does. What I've heard, because they said, no effects used for that true CS80 sound. And it's kind of, that's not the CS80 sound, mate.
So it's not a beta release, it's the final release?
CS80s always have reverb on the end of them, always have a 244 or something on the end of them. And it doesn't sound like it. Just does. They were doing all the classic sort of love songs and things from Blade Runner and whatever, all those classic sounds, and they didn't sound particularly. It's kind of CS80.
It's like the Cherry Audio one is very good. It has strengths in certain areas. The Arturia one is very good and has strengths in various areas as well. And those areas are not the areas that Cherry Audio is strong in. So between the two of them,
you've got pretty good.
Quite a good CS80 representation. You know,
you have. But even the Cherry Audio one, I like. But I think, honest opinion. Now we're on the pub. I felt that the adding in the GX with it was a nice idea, good thing to do, I suppose. But I think it compromised it. I think it made it different. I'm not quite sure why, but there are areas of it that aren't very 80-ish.
But you said no one quite nailed the ring mod, though, right?
No. The ring mod is going to be a very, very difficult thing to nail, to be honest, because it's very. What's the word? It's very peculiar the way it works. Yeah. It's not a ring mod in the usual sense of the word. It was quite a sort of like Yamaha going, oh, let's do it differently. Let's feck about, and they produce this thing in this particular way. They get close, but they don't have the testicles. It doesn't ring right.
Something there.
Yeah, there's something not there.
So even Marlene, you don't think they could get it?
Maybe it just needed something else that wasn't part of the engine to get it to. Because no matter what the engine is, they do to make the CS80 as an instrument. It needs something else.
Like a Yamaha version of ACB or something? You don't think that would work?
That kind of thing. Yeah, it just needs it needs it. But I couldn't say what it was.
Didn't we talk about this? And wasn't there something about the way the ring mod interacted with everything else, and everything else interacted with it, so that it wasn't a straight ring mod. There was always something else going on. And it was so much a part of the performance that it had to be that way because of the way that it worked across both.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember. Is it across both layers at the same time?
Yeah.
Equally, because it's across the whole thing rather than just.
Well, that's the thing about the ring mod in it is actually 2-channel. rather
That's
than be
right.
a single channel splitting, it's actually 2 channel, and it has its own, obviously its own envelope generator chip, but the actual core, which is a UA726 dual transistor. I mean, what, they're about 150 quid anyway.
Wow.
Nobody would use them. Nobody uses them anymore. That's why, because they're very expensive, hard to find components. But there is one you can model that is very, it's cheaper and easier to get hold of, but doesn't quite deliver the same kind of sound.
Yeah.
Randy was saying the Rachel's missing some stuff. It's not quite what you're talking about.
Exactly. Yeah. And but the thing is, it's not really the software company's fault, because I've had 80s come in where that have been, should we say, recently calibrated by a synth tech, and it's like, no, that's no, not like, that's not what they meant in the manual. No, and I have to put everything straight, right? And it's not even the tech's fault. You have to know 80s to know, right? And you have to have worked on fucking hundreds of them to know. So, okay, I'm lucky. I've done the groundwork, and I can open them up and go, yeah, this isn't calibrated right. Blah, 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 blah. But it never seems to be one of these particular 80s ends up in the hands of the software developer. So when they model it, it sounds like a CS80 is supposed to sound. They model on what they have in front of them, and if it isn't calibrated right,
then it's
that's
not
the
going to
instrument
sound
you
right.
get. Yeah. And putting the most realistic GUI over the front of it isn't going to fucking help.
I remember years ago sampling a piano at, I'm trying to remember which studio we were at. It might have been Livingston or something. And we had a Bosendorfer in, and it had to be put in place, settle. Then they brought someone in to tune it and to set up all of the parts of the case, etc., because it had certain resonant frequencies that would change depending on the room and the temperature and where it was and all that kind of stuff. And so they tuned the whole piano, not just the strings, the whole piano. And I remember we went out, we were away for the weekend, and I'd mentioned to the studio that it needed to be, can you just make sure they get someone down to tune it before we start session on Monday? They didn't think to call Bosendorfer, they got someone else in. When we got in, it was perfectly in tune, but it sounded horrible. And it's because they didn't understand that they had to do all this other stuff as well.
Yeah, you get like standing wave stuff in there, right?
Yeah,
exactly right. I mean, the way you tighten up a certain part of the one of the soundboard nuts, or the way the legs are attached, the lid is, all of it, every single part of it was you had to tune the whole, you had to set up the whole thing for it to sound right. And when you did, it was glorious, and when you didn't, it was just someone's piano. It wasn't a 50 grand instrument sort of thing. So
now the Rachel is really close, but there's quite a few areas where it just isn't.
On which one? On the G-Force or
on the Decades?
Randy said something about some of the controls were different too. It was missing some actual controls or whatever. Unless I misremembered that.
I think the ring mod was a separate unit, wasn't it? With Decades Dream.
Was it?
I think it was built in into the. Well, they had a couple revs, right? There was one that had the.
I'm probably thinking the very, very first iteration.
The very first one may have been separate, yeah.
Didn't have the ring mod, and then it eventually became available as a separate...
It was like a second rack or something. That came with it.
Second unit sat on it, yeah.
See, it's not an 80 if you don't have access to those performance controls in real time.
Yeah.
Those performance controls and in real time. And that's, I think, where a lot of the software thing has gone awry, where they've not really understood how much that performance thing contributes. I think Cherry got pretty close, I have to say. They did. They did get very, pretty close. But you do need to set up a bunch of controllers.
I mean,
to be able
in the ideal world, if you could get all the parts of the Cherry one that they got right, All the parts
And
of the
all-
Arturia one they got right.
Arturia
All the parts
one,
of the
yeah,
the Decca Stream they got right, and blah, 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 put it all together. Boom.
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping that's what they were going to do with the blooming
With the drums.
ANX, but it's.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I managed to get it close. Kent and I were, diddling around with it for ages, and we managed to get it close by having the third oscillator just output the sine wave straight through, and then shaping the basic waveforms for the triangle and the sawtooth, the
pulse.
square wave, the pulse, because they have a very specific shape to them in the originals, in the proper CS80s, and it's not a real square, and it's not a perfect triangle. There's always, or even the sine wave is not linear.
Yeah, the
There's
square is almost like a
flattening.
shark tooth, right? It's kind of a weird shape.
It is a weird shape, and so
Yeah.
you can set that up. And once you have that set up, you save that as a preset, and you start working from there.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
I mean, that you got the three waveforms on the CS80 are square, saw, and sine. The square isn't square.
No.
The saw isn't saw, and the sine is not sine. The square is. I mean,
It is like a sharp
got-
toothy thing with a
you
slight
have
slope
you
on
have
it.
the uprights, yeah, but where the top
Yeah.
and bottoms are, they're at like that angle
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
because
It's like Gumby's head.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
pretty much.
you have the wave chip is using the square, it's using the sawtooth rather, which isn't very sawtoothy anyway, and that's helping it create the square wave, so it still has the slopes from the sawtooth in it, but it produces a very, very particular square wave, because you can get a really nice square wave on it, but it's not at 0 on the pulse width on the front panel. It's a little way up. It's about,
That's
I
right.
think it's
Yeah.
something about 0.7 of a volt, and then you get the square. It's just those weird things, And if you're not aware of these different kinds of things, and you're reading the front panel the way it's been presented to you, where it says, pulse width 0, which is supposed to be proper square, right? Where that is, and that's not actually what it's doing. So they go, oh, this is what the square sounds like on the 80. Blah, 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 blah.
And I wish they
And it's
put.
not.
I wish they put limits on the waveforms in the ANX, so that you could set the square for what it should be at 0 PWM, so it replicates the original. Because you can get to it, but
Yeah.
you've already had to change the wave shape and the pulse width to get there. And it's the wave shaping and the pulse width. Yeah, you end up with it being at 0, but then you're not at you're not default at 0 as you would have been on the original.
Yeah.
So and you can go further up and down. It's kind of just give me the original 80 waveforms to start with.
This German chappie who bought me his 80, and he had a list of things he wanted me to do to it, and he was going, look, cost isn't an issue. I'm going, cool, we like that. And one of the things he wanted me to do was put additional trimmers onto the front panel for the square wave, that it would be a proper square wave when it was at 0, right? So I had to do all that for him and get it right. But the trouble is at 0, it's 0 volt, and he wants it so it's like actually reading 0.7, but when it's at 0.
Yeah.
So I actually had to feed a volt, pick up a volt off of somewhere nearby, and bring it in, go through a trimmer to supply the voltage required with it sitting at 0. Yeah?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But then have to compensate with resistance up the top end of the resistor, so that when it goes to the top, it's at the same place it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right, sorry. So it was literally like just moving the whole scale down a little bit. And I'm going, yeah, okay, that's not too hard. Then he turned around and said, oh, the other thing I'd like it to have, could we have polyphonic aftertouch LFO speed? I'm going, It already does that. He said,
Yeah.
per voice. Shot who and the what now? So I had to build 16 LFOs.
Wait, is this the guy who wanted all the mods and he had to repeal it? It turns out he didn't want all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't just want me to make 16 LFOs for it. No. And didn't want it on the flick of a switch as well, to go from polyphonic LFO to monophonic LFO. He wanted me to use original IG00150 LFOs to keep up the, the whole aesthetic.
The authenticity.
Yeah. 16 of the feckers. Right?
How the fuck did you get hold of them?
I had a lot of spares. An awful lot of spares. And I had to do a little bit of shopping around as well. And fortunately, it was at a time when people weren't particularly bothered about getting CSs done. So, a few quid and you can get an IC, as opposed to today where it's like...
Now they're super rare.
Yes,
right?
I will bend over this desk and you can fuck me in the arse as long as you need to for that VCO kind of scenario that we have today. And my arse is so sore. Anyway, so I build all this and then have to route each LFO to each voice card individually, and then have a switching system that will switch them digitally to go from polyphonic LFO to monophonic LFO, and that they all match and do the same kind of speed. So the calibrating of it was like... He wanted the ring mod to be in true stereo, so I had to change the way the the synth outputs functioned. I did all of this, and then he went, "Nah, I don't really like it. Can you just put it back to how it was?"
I remember this.
So,
but the ring mod not being true stereo, that was part of the sound of it. That was the way it interacted.
Yeah, he thought he would like it. He thought I'd love this in stereo, but he wanted it. He wanted it so that when it rose, it went from left to right, and when it fell, it went from right to left.
Is he fucking nuts?
So I had to generate this timer circuit that's linked to the envelope generator, right? So it would pan at the correct time to whatever the pitch of the LFO was at the time. Right? All of this. Some sterling work, I hasten to add. And then he turned around and went, "No, I just don't like the sound of it." Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
How are you, darling?
Hey.
Oh,
there we go. David,
Good,
I hope you don't
good. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but I've got to head off because I've got an early meeting, so I'm going to...
Well, I do. I take
He
it.
didn't
Yeah.
like your juggling, so he's out of
Take
here.
it in the worst of way.
mate.
Let me write this down.
Mate,
Andrew Bales.
he's pulling your pisser. Go over there and just punch
That's
him
all
in the
right. I
face.
just write a sticky.
But listen, the reason I wanted to say hello and goodbye to you specifically was I saw about your cats,
Oh,
and I was heartbroken because I've been there, matey. I've been there. Mr.
Yeah.
Evans is sitting here with me now, and his predecessor Wimbledon, we lost him, and that was terrible. And then Audrey, and it's heartbreaking. So listen, much love.
yeah. Thank you.
You know, every sympathy, matey.
Yeah, I still have
Yeah.
the note though. I'm sorry, but
Well, can I just say fuck you?
Yeah,
well, you can. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
not
but-
going to change anything.
It's
Reminder.
the version of the living
Yeah.
book. It's the abandoned book, right? It's the,
yeah. Reminder:
Thank
There
you.
we go.
kick Andrew in the testicles.
Yeah.
No, I deserve it. It's fair. I was nice to Justin. I was nice to David. I was even nice to Andrew.
I know that's a rarity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're my favourite, Andrew. You're my
That was
favourite.
good. Oh, there's the
No.
favorite.
Well, we're both
Yeah.
emu fanboys, so there you go.
Yeah.
I should keep it. I should keep a tally. Who's the favorite? See who's winning and like.
Kent's a total wank puffin, just so you know.
So he
Yeah.
won't win. Yeah.
I even
Yeah.
learned how to spell it.
Yeah.
I
Wank
think that
puff?
wasn't part of the quiz, though.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
Puffin.
seabird, the wank puffin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Puffin with a GH.
Oh God!
Right.
Did you hear?
All right, we'll let you go. I'm sorry, we didn't keep you.
Big love. Yeah. So you should be, David. You utter basket. See you later.
See you
Bye.
later.
Bye, well, Kenty, catch up with you later, matey.
See you later, darling.
Bye. And good luck with the album launch. Justin, I'll be buying it.
Yeah,
Well
I
done.
saw that.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Speak to you later. Bye.
Yeah, put a link up in the chat, Justin.
Let me see. Well, I can give you the single. I don't have the album yet up on Bandcamp.
Oh no,
'cause they
the
won't.
single will be fine for now.
Yeah, let me see if I can grab that.
Or what we need to be signed up to get it. You know.
Okay. Well, it'll be on Bandcamp. So what I can do is I'll give you the link to the new single.
I can post it in the chat for you. So.
Yeah.
Is it called This One Time at Bandcamp? Is it the?
You think this is American Pie?
They're too delish. They need to be banned.
Kent's busy making love to his rapper there. What's going on?
Mate. So, come on, Dave. How you been, mate? What's been
Good.
going?
All right. Well, yeah. Good.
As well as can be expected.
Yeah. Actually,
Okay.
been starting to play some music again. I took about 6 months off.
Yeah.
It wasn't intentional, you know how those droughts go. But yeah, I finally got things going again. Having fun with MIDI, one of my best buddies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still annoyed that, well, I just hate it when they got rid of MIDI through. It's
Oh, the soft through.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I also wish there was a little switch that just said like clock only or notes and clock or something.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I could, you know what I mean? Like on every one where I could just say, no, I just want the clock on this.
Yeah, because the
Don't
program
want-
change could be a nightmare.
Oh, even on drum
Yeah.
machines is what I found. Like, I'm like, oh, why did you MIDI why did drum brute MIDI there? Like, I know why they did it, but you're
So
like,
by the MIDI Solutions event processor, you can program it and have it block all kinds of crap.
oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's MIDI powered,
Yeah.
so you don't have to plug it into anything. It's just MIDI.
it's really, I mean, it's interesting too. Like some of them have like the soft through on the out, but my reface doesn't even have that. So, which of course, you know, so you start learning the capabilities of some of your stuff. And then the other thing I think is funny is like if you buy used gear, like if someone did something wacky to their MIDI, you'll find out when you start trying to use it and you're like, oh, it's on channel 16. Of course, that's
Yeah.
exactly where I'd expect it. So
Yeah.
that's, you're going through the changing cables and then you're going to the MIDI settings. You're like, oh, there it is. Channel 16. Here's the problem.
There's one of my best buddies.
Ooh, what's that?
That is a QX3
Oh, sorry. Ooh,
16-track sequencer.
oh, yeah. Well, I was like, for like all the hardware jams for about a year, I was syncing everything with the drum machine, the Drum Brute Impact. And it was just clock, but it was so perfect, and I could start, stop everything. And then I wanted to do something different, add some desktop synths. So I just need to change it. But, oh man, did I not anticipate what I was getting into. But it's sort of fun, the challenge of it.
MIDI gets weird. I did a recent demo of the JP8000, and I noticed that a lot of the things have, because it's either single, dual, or split patches, and they're on different MIDI channels, obviously, for that. And so if you're trying to do a external controller, you got to constantly go to the controller and say, oh, now I need channel 2. Now I need channel 1.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's bad enough with the controllers and the computer, but but you get in the hardware and it's like, oh, this is nuts.
Yeah, not everything is that friendly, but you get the workflow down. It's not too bad after a while.
No, I still multi-track, so usually I just want maybe a few things all working together if I want to record, a few things at once.
Because like my Access Virus is 16-part multi-timbral but the multi-mode is a little bit daunting until you dig into it a bit.
Yeah.
And then it's super easy after that. Basically what you do is you make a template and then you copy it to the next one and you just make some slight modifications. It's much easier than having to go from scratch every time.
Yeah.
Do it that way.
Come on, Jason, you coming in, mate?
Yeah, the quadrisynths are 16 part, but the thing is, if you want to play a mix, which is basically their combi, if you want to be able to play it from MIDI, it'll only trigger on the first program because it is 16 part multi-timbral. So if I was going to sequence it into a DAW, I'd have to have a MIDI track for each part or each program that is in that mix. So if it's like if it's a mix that has 3 programs, I basically have to have 3 tracks in order to get that full sound. Yeah. But the nice thing is, once you're in mix mode, it becomes 16 part multi-timbral. They even give you a 16 part like multi as a template. Yeah. So I tried it with the QX3 one day. I'm like, program 1 piano, program 10 my drums, or I could set all that stuff up. So they do give you a little bit of respite with that.
Emacs 2 has that. It's called a super mode map. You go into a multi-timbral mode.
Well, you know what happened tonight that was really crazy? So I have, I don't know if I can pull it out. The little...
hello.
I'm going to unplug it out. This little Boss, looper.
Right.
I liked it because it was red and cute, and I didn't like the 505 one. It looked weird. But this one has a drum machine. Maybe the other one does too. But what I was going to say is so I've got MIDI going from the reface into the OB6, and then I have it going through to the Eventide pedal to clock it. But I come out of that into this, and it's keeping all the note data. And I know it's keeping the note data because all of a sudden I was at the reface, and I had everything turned off, I thought. And the whole keys was playing a drum set. And I was like... where did I get a drum set for? It sounded really good. Turns out it's rolling samples, right? So that's why they sound amazing, and it's the whole keys. I was like, do. I was like, okay, my reface is turned into a drum machine. So that was if I had gotten rid of all the notes and I was just using the clock, I would have never realized how that I could pull that. So then I started writing with improvised percussion. But so sometimes there's happy accidents that you come up with that, and you realize it's just your lack of intelligence, usually, or creativity. That's the real problem.
The problem is every piece of gear is so different.
Yeah. So, that's I said.
Can I just interject and say, stop lurking, click on the link, and come in.
Yeah.
The more the merrier. Come on, this spot's open. Do you know how much this thing cost me a fucking year?
Yeah.
This software cost me was it 1,100 quid a year?
Against burning cycles here.
So that 10 people can come in, for god damn it.
It's like I just went to Costco and bought 10 bags of French fries. There's so many French fries. Please, just eat them. They're going to go bad.
Yeah.
That's probably not the best thing. But yeah. But who would have thought, I know why they put that in there, but it's this is a drum machine. It's got it's a drum synth. It's and it's good. It's it's just like what they're using on the keyboards. The samples are really high quality.
Well, I mean, the MIDI in here is still not quite sorted out. And I think actually because of things like the Rollies and so many MPE controllers going on, I'm getting to a point where even the Mac Studio's going, whoa, do you know what? This is enough data all at once. I'll just hang everything up. Hang on a minute, and everything falls over. Or I go to the Rolly, and I'm getting drum sounds with my violin. I go, why am I getting drum sounds with my violin? This really isn't working.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm going. Wait a minute. What drum?
Yeah, who's giving me drum?
Wait. It turns out it's the TR8 down on the floor. And I go, why are you playing that? You're not even pointed at it. What's going on? Oh.
Well, I bet you I'll never get it to work again. I'll be trying to get the drums back on the reface. I'll be like, what did I do? How was everything?
Really tricky because it uses so many MIDI channels to do its tricks. So it doesn't necessarily play well with others.
Yeah.
That's true of a lot of stuff. But MIDI's still crazy cool. As much as it's a pain in the ass, it's also really...
Oh, yeah.
It's worth sometimes putting the time in. It really is.
Well, the fact you can take something from this year, plug it into something 1984, and it works
Yeah.
pretty damn well. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, close. Just if you try using the DX7 as a controller, remember it only goes to 100 instead of 127.
Well, it has its own issues. Just loading patches, if the baud rate is wrong, you can't fucking load the patches. So
Yeah. Unless
Right,
you
it's
like
not as bad
upgrade
as
the
it was.
OS with like the Supermax or something.
It's not as bad as it was back in the day. We had a DX7 and a Chase Bit 1. And Chase Bit 1 didn't recognise note off information from the DX7. And the DX7 didn't recognise the note number from the Chase Bit 1. That was an interesting session. Trust me, it was not a good idea. Had to go back to the old right angle and hope for the best scenario.
Well, my old RD1000 Roland would send all notes off messages when you let everything go. Like every time you let everything go, like I play a chord, let everything go, everything else stops. So like imagine me playing like CS80V and I got a long release time on a pad sound or whatever. I let that go. Why did that stop abruptly?
Yeah,
well, that's why you need that MIDI event processor thing. It'll take care
Oh,
of shit.
you know what I got was the iConnect MIDI 2 Plus, which does the same thing, but I can program it with an app on my iPad.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at the MIDI solutions box and I'm like, oh, I got to program all this hex stuff, and
It's a little nerdy, but once you do it, it's plug and play, and it's really cool.
yeah. I was like, I just want to get it done, and
No, I do.
But I don't have the RD1000 anymore, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I don't get that fancy. I have the MIDI. I just have the little MIDI through box.
Yeah.
I think everybody's got one. It's 1 in, 4 out. It's
I've got a
freaking brilliant.
I've got a JL Cooper MSB Plus sitting in my desk right now. It's basically 8 in, 8 out, but right now I'm just using it as a merge to get these two guys into my main MIDI interface, which is my XR18. So I can have a weighted controller, and then I can have a non-weighted controller, and I don't have to really change anything at all.
I have one of those giant Kenton through boxes, so you can just have one controller control a bunch of multi-timbral gear. It's really nice.
Yeah. We'll have to do some investigating.
Yeah, guess what?
Maybe.
Bit of inside news. Guess who's doing a PSN Synthpirations?
You?
Kai Unwin?
No, Fiona.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. Because she said to me, she goes, yeah. I went, really? What? Like what? And she goes, I was always into synth music, and then I actually get to play the synthesizer that I heard on the record now and again. She goes, it's quite a thing. I went, okay. Because I do things like that. I go, yeah, this one was owned by, we had a mini that was Billy Curry's. And it had, had all the, it was painted black on grey on the wood, where they had a grey setup and then they went black. And he's written the names of the songs on it, like, Reap the Wild Fart is written on the front panel and stuff like that. And it's got all the switches and bits and pieces. And she goes, I said, yeah, it used to be Billy Curry's, Ultravox. She went, oh. She goes, can I play it? I said, yeah, of course you can. There it is. She went, oh, this is the synth, yeah? I'm going, yeah. She goes, oh, wow. Like that. See, now I know how she got into keyboards. She lost her shit when she played Steve Picaro's GS1.
GS1. Oh.
Yeah.
It's like that's the instrument that did Africa.
And I said, oh, try this. And I selected B6 and went on it like that. And she's going, oh, wow, can I? And she starts, she's doing chopsticks. She doesn't really play it very well, but she's like, oh, wow, and this is the actual keyboard. Like that. She's like, yeah. Okay. And then she turned around and said, can I do a Synthpirations? I went, yeah, why?
Look, who wouldn't want to go back to J.S. Bach's church and play the actual organ he composed all that shit on? It'd be amazing.
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. It's a special thing going on there, you know what I mean? So when we had, I think we had also had one of John Fox's Minimogs here. Oh, Jesus Christ, I think she had to go and change her knickers. She was over the moon. John Fox, oh my God. When we had, what's his name? Fruitback with the eyeliner. Oh shit, come on.
Gary Newman?
Gary Newman. And we had one of his original Tube Army minis here. And, oh mate, she was all over it. All over it. So anything that comes in from, you know, because we've had stuff from, what was the name of that band she was going on about that we had here? Hang on.
Human
Well, we
League?
had Human League.
Yeah.
Landscape.
Hmm.
She loved herself a bit of War of the Worlds 80. She she loved that. Yeah, all sorts of things like that. And she goes, yeah, can I come on and talk about that? But yes, we welcome it. We do not see enough females in this system, please.
It's true.
You know, and because I suppose it can, you know, sometimes it must appear intimidating to women, but it's not. It's not really like that, is it? It's not really like that.
Oh.
I mean, I know it exists. I'm not saying, oh, no, but I mean, it doesn't properly exist in this community. And I mean, if it did raise its ugly head,
No, well, this is really.
Yeah.
have some of that, you little shite, you know. So, yeah, and it's, you know, it's the same with rugby. The women's game was on today, and I'm not kidding you. You could almost count the people in the stadium. And yet their game was better than the men's game. But when the men's game was on, oh no, 80,000 people, fireworks, and a light display beforehand.
I've been to a Stanford women's basketball game. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten a little bit into the WNBA, and I'm kind of floored how good it is. You know, it's a little different, but it's good. It's
And the Olympics too. They had a kick-ass team in the Olympics at one point.
yeah,
So.
their skills.
Mm.
And then shocker, when you actually start paying them money, the young people actually might see that as a career path and not quit. You know. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's but that's cool, Ken. I think that's great. I mean, I love
Yeah.
those synth I haven't watched all of them, but I enjoy watching them. And it kind of sometimes it brings back something I haven't listened to, and sometimes I just never really. I go, you know what? I don't think I've ever really listened to that, and that's great too. You know.
Do you have to play fight now, you two? Hey, come here.
I was saying, Noah's a tough little bugger, isn't he?
Oh Christ, yeah. Even from this towering great big husky, he's like, feck off. You go,
Yeah.
go on. Let her know. Let her know about it, mate. Hey? Hmm? Unfortunately, she can now, because she's so big, she can just put her paw on his head and push him to the ground. And he's there going, if I get out of this, I'm going to fuck you up. Yeah. But you can't get up again, can you? You poor little soul. Oh.
No, he's just sitting there going, just wait.
Yeah, you wait until you fall asleep. Guess where this pencil's going?
Just go wee on it when he's asleep. When she's asleep.
Stop biting his paws. No, leave him alone. Leave him alone. He doesn't want to
And
play.
then Lily goes, that's not a pencil.
Stop it. God, she's a moo.
I love when Noah watches the screen when you're on the other setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like they're going, wow, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
Then yeah.
Very alert.
Yeah, good lad. I think he's getting a bit incontinent now. He's getting to that
Oh.
age. Aren't you? You have to get your nappy, won't we? Let's find a way of making you look even more ridiculous, shall we?
I've actually seen dogs walking around the neighborhood, places I've lived with little diapers on and stuff. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're sort of going, no, mate, just pick it up. It's all right.
Yeah.
You can just put the bag over it and Bob's your auntie. Diapers, for God's sake.
They just have this look of being demeaned, right? So.
Yeah. And they walk funny because they never fit properly.
Yeah.
The back legs are out slightly.
It's like when you see a dog all dressed up in different clothes and a scarf and stuff, and it's just like, why me? You know?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, some of it can be a giggle, I suppose. But
It's funny, but
if the dogs enjoy it, Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it's sort of like stopping them from running around.
Well, the one photographer, the famous Weimaraner, who did all those crazy poses with clothing and other things. I don't know if you remember seeing those from the 90s or whatever.
Yeah,
There's
I know
one
the
dog in particular, it was like super photogenic and didn't care and posed any way you wanted it to. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's down to the individual character of the animal, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, quadrasynthing again. Harry B.
Good girls.
No, okay.
Just waiting for my 48 volts to power on.
see.
How's it going?
Is it
Because you took me
clockwork?
by surprise. I honestly, I didn't. Did I get a message? I didn't get
Me
a
too.
message that you were live.
Really?
Just finished
Your mate's
dinner and my watch
I
goes
can
off.
see. I can see.
Yeah, he's been waiting for you.
Yeah.
He's got in a scuffle.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to invest in one of those quadrasynths, mate.
Oh yeah. Got to find one first.
Yeah, that's true enough.
I passed a few at my favorite used store. I didn't know they were that nice.
No, I had no idea. Like I said before, it just passed me by.
Haven't seen them
It's all
since.
samples. It's all samples.
Yeah, but
One on Guitar Center for like. There's one on Guitar Center used for like $250 or something like that.
Well, the SY55 sounds good, and it's all samples.
Wow.
Yeah. What was that?
That was Manny. Who told him he wasn't supposed to know?
Oh, man.
I just spent the last 3 hours watching The Godfather in 4K.
Okay.
Oh, so I've gone all Italian.
Gone all Italian.
Well, you know.
Don't
So,
tell me
as a
something
fan of
else.
the movie,
Such
have you
good
played
film.
the Godfather Black Hand Edition game?
Nope.
It's actually a lot of fun. They
Doing this a
recreate a lot
lot?
of scenes from the movie. And
Doing this a lot, are you?
Doing what? Oh yeah.
you can actually witness Luca Brasi getting his hand stabbed through the window of the bar out in the alleyway.
Okay.
And then they come out and try to kill you. You got to get away and go do some shit. And then you see the guy, Don Corleone, get shot. The oranges fall toward the camera. All that shit. It's all in the game.
It's such a spectacular movie.
Yeah. Well,
Every time I watch it, I appreciate it even more than I did the last time because I think
And-
it's so good.
and Dick Smith, the makeup maestro, made a lot of that stuff happen. It looks great.
It's his use of sound as well. Like, you know, the scene where Michael shoots the police chief and the other mobster, whose name escapes me at the moment.
Yeah.
Barzini?
Is it Barzini? No, I can't remember now. Anyway, he gets the gun from behind the toilet and he comes out. And while he's in the toilet, a train or a subway train goes by, or L train, whatever. And it kind of, the volume rises and then subsides. And then he walks out of the toilet and he goes to sits down at the table. And then you hear the train again and the volume just rises. And what it's telling you is...
Here it comes.
Here comes Michael's conversion.
Yeah.
This is when he goes from being the good guy, the war hero, to becoming the man that he is kind of
The
sort of
full-blown
destined to become.
mafiosi. Yeah.
And it's just like all it is the sound of a train.
Yeah. But it's a real-world sound that is replacing what would have been a kettle drum.
Yeah.
Slowly rising. isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Such a work of genius.
There's even a restaurant in North Beach that has the slogan, "Leave the gun, take the cannoli." So
I love it. Mate.
Oh, it's just But no, my wife got me the box set, the whole Godfather stuff, everything, 1, 2, and it's not called 3 anymore. It's called the Godfather Coda.
oh really?
The death of Michael Corleone. So they've re-edited it and expanded it to become
Or that silly thing where he falls down and the dog licks his face.
I haven't seen this new cut of it, but they do supply the theatrical and the 1991 cuts as well. If you want to see that, it's just like everything in a box. It's brilliant. But what it has told me, unfortunately, is that I do need to change my TV.
Oh.
Because my TV, although it is Ultra HD, doesn't have HDR. And in this film, where there's a lot of dark shots, it's almost just black with certain. So yeah, I just had to make a few adjustments to make it okay. But I need a proper HDR.
Do you get that weird bronzing effect where certain colors pop through?
No, it's just the contrast. It's just the high dynamics.
Okay.
HDR, that's a new one on me.
It's been around for a while. I mean, my
HDR's great.
My TV has got a setting because it was an early 4K.
Right.
And so whilst it can handle 4K, it doesn't have Dolby Vision. It doesn't have this HDR mode. It has something called Ultra Deep Color HD, which was kind of like a precursor to HDR. But it's not quite the same. So, yeah.
I see.
But I was looking at TVs the other day, actually. And this company, Hisense. Have you heard of them? Do you have those in America? Must have. It's a Chinese company called Hisense.
Oh, you have seen those, yeah.
Yeah. And I when I moved home, because in my previous house, all the appliances, the kitchen appliances, were built in. So I sold my washing machine. I sold my dishwasher, my standalone stuff when I moved from the house before that. And so when we moved into here and there was nothing built in, I had to go and buy some stuff, and I needed it quick and I just needed it cheaply. And I went to AO.com and bought a Hisense washing machine and a Hisense dishwasher. And I tell you what, they're the best fucking dishwashers and washing machines I've ever had. That washing machine's so quiet. It's unbelievable. So I was looking through TVs and something recommended, you've got to see this Hisense TV. It's won Good Housekeeping Award, the EISA Award, this award, that Which Award, all this. Oh, really? £699 for a 55-inch 4K micro LED HDR Dolby Doodah. What's it? All the $699. Are you shitting me? And I've not found a bad review of it yet. So
No.
yeah, 5-year warranty.
Bloody hell.
Nice.
Yeah, Hisense and Vizio are pretty popular here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reading because I've always kind of gone for Samsung and LG for my flat screens.
Yeah.
And
Here he is, he's back.
there you go. And even this reviewer said LG need to sit up and take notice of what Hisense are doing.
Anything.
So yeah, I know, Steve. I can buy a synth for that, but
Yeah, well, I think our TV was like
TV's what keeps
£3,000 or something.
I know. I mean, you can spend stupid money.
Well, Fiona did. She goes, I bought us a TV. Oh, right, okay. Yeah. And when it arrived, it was like, oh my God.
But I'm semi-tempted to go for the 65-inch, but genuinely, I don't think I could fit it in the space that we have.
Well, our one's a 65, give you
Exactly,
a rough idea. And look at the size of that bugger.
I know. I mean, mine's
She was going to
55.
get the 85 one. It's like,
Oh, bloody hell.
we'd have to
I did
move
ask
into
my
the
landlord
kitchen.
I did ask my landlord if I could mount a TV on the wall, and he was like, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah.
But it would have to be on one of those brackets where it would sit in the corner rather
Yeah.
than flush against the
Oh.
wall, because I just don't have.
Well, that's
Enough
losing a
wall
lot
space.
of room space.
So like an
Well,
articulated mount. Kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah. It'd have to be on some sort of
Yeah.
like a bit like this,
And my girlfriend got a 65 LG with incredible sound. She didn't have room to put speakers everywhere and stuff. So the sound out of the TV was shockingly good, bouncing off the walls.
Apparently, this Hisense has got a built-in subwoofer, but it's like this thin. It's got a built-in sub. Okay, but I don't use built-in. I've got that at my system, so no, it's. I'll have to see what they got in the sales.
I'll go to the private chat. I might have found your quadrasynth.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And it's in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not. It's in the Netherlands.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, was it 370? Well, yeah, you're gonna get duty.
Shipping and import.
Shipping and import.
Import won't
He
help.
wants 108 shipping, and then you've got the duty on top of that, 20%.
Bear in mind this time of year. Because remember,
I found a good
well,
prophecy to replace the one that was stolen, and it's in Australia, and it was like super expensive shipping. So,
Uncle Chrome. Hello, mate.
Yeah.
Hey, but when was that mini Moog raffle?
6 weeks ago, 8 weeks.
6? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
got to be
something.
that, isn't it?
Yeah, because they've done another one since.
Yeah. He got it
Oh, finally!
the day before Christmas Eve, so it'd be last Monday.
Wow.
He finally got it. It's sat in customs all this time.
But it's all okay, yeah.
Yes, it's arrived in one piece, so that's something. Mind you,
Good.
it went off packed.
Did-
What was it packed?
By the way, did you get a delivery today? From
No.
From Marks and Spencer.
No,
Or have you
I
had
got.
a delivery from Marks?
Yeah,
and
we got
Spencer?
that day before yesterday. I think it
Oh,
was.
good.
And went right through it, and I think there was one thing in it. I went, yeah, maybe. Rest of it's not for me. It really ain't for
Really?
me.
No.
Yeah, no.
Everything but the little jar of pickles.
Actually, not even that. Actually,
I'm not really.
no.
I
But
haven't tried them yet, but I will.
you know the blue vein cheese,
Oh yes.
and I went, oh, like that. Handed it to Fiona. She went,
Yeah.
oh, no. Yeah, she's not into it either.
Oh mate.
Well, if you can get down here, you can have it.
Well, I need to come to see you, and it needs to be in the next few weeks because I've got
There you
to
go.
clear out that garage. But
was it Stilton?
No, it's French.
Le France.
Yeah.
Le France.
No, but it was lovely. How lovely was that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, she has had some of that that really goldeny dark hard cheese.
Yes.
That was in the package. She said that was really nice. It had hints of, what did she say? Dates and something.
Feet.
Yeah, sort of.
This
Tramp-
cheese has hints of feet.
Tramps.
A little bit of feet, a
testicles.
little bit of ass, a little bit of.
Oh,
Yeah.
a little bit of ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Beaver anus.
Oh, well, that'd be vanilla, so it would be quite nice.
I tell you what, somebody said to me today, they will remain nameless, so I'm not getting them in trouble. And they said, "Oh, please thank Fiona for that quiz. It was wonderful." And I went, and I said to him, "Oh, cool, like that." And he goes, "Yeah, anything that can make 6 grown men act like absolute fucking arseholes for 2 hours gets my vote every time."
Every time.
Yeah. Please, can I have some? I thought it was a nice touch, actually. I said to her, I said, "Look, can we not wait until next New Year to do one? Can we do one sooner?" She went, "Yeah." She goes, "That was good fun." I said, "But we will set it up in such a way where you
Like
can
Jason.
have a proper mic and everything and get it properly set
Yeah,
up."
do it proper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she wants me to do the when somebody buzzes, right? And then I like say probably on the stream deck or something like that, zoom in and get full screen of who buzzed, and go like like for instance, Robbie
USA
Norwich,
Challenge, yes.
yeah, and zoom in,
Percelli, Cambridge.
yeah.
I didn't get a chance to watch it. I got to play catch up.
Oh dear, it was
Oh,
fun.
it was
good.
mental.
I was
And then
sleeping.
she did that the brainy section.
Oh God, yeah. I don't think we got any.
Christ Almighty. There were words in the question I didn't understand, never mind the bloody answer. But she thought it'd be a giggle. Although, Mr. Wagoogle, I think he got at least 2 of them, didn't he?
Oh, he got a lot of them.
Yeah, but we
Hey
don't
guys,
see
it's
what
been
his
fun. I got to
fingers are
run some errands. I'll catch you later.
doing.
All right, buddy.
All right,
Take care,
See you
man.
later.
Bye.
Yeah, so it was all a bit sort of like, bit of a giggle all round, I think.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah. But I could definitely sense some House of Games influence in it. You know, old
Richard Osman.
Richard Osman's thingy.
How's Mr. Surchek? Are you enjoying the denim jacket?
I am.
Looks cool.
I was joking. I was like, "What do you think, honey?" She's like, "Oh." Complex emotions going on.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
Look at these. Look at these sleeves. They don't make them like that anymore. That's what I told the kids. They were just like, "Oh, really?" Like, go look. It's really a nice jacket.
Is it really cool? That's
Yeah,
nice.
no, it's nice.
well, it's like the jumper. The jumper's really, really lovely quality jumper. You know.
I had a T-shirt too. I got to score that too.
Yeah.
I can put it on now.
I need to buy some stuff. I'm going to get some special shirts for me, Kent, and Andy with the logo, but like something like Crew or Bar Staff or something put on the back.
That's good. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Are you off? You off, Jason? I thought he was going to come in.
No.
Somebody was supposed to come in, right? They keep not coming in.
I was hoping to get to see his pussy again. Do you know what? That really doesn't sound right. It doesn't matter how you say it. It doesn't work, does it?
It doesn't work.
Oh well.
I freaked mine out because we were just like shutting down for the night. Jackie's gone to bed, and the titles of The Godfather were rolling, and the music. I'm just sat there listening to the music, and the cat, for some reason, Milo decides to
Started singing along.
No, he walks up to the TV, which is on a stand, and he's like looking like this. And unbeknownst to me, I just pressed the eject button on the Blu-ray, and this thing just goes, and the cat went. It was hilarious. It really was. Bless him. But he's being a little. But we spent, I don't know, it wasn't cheap. One of these cat water fountains.
Oh yeah.
With the automatic sensor on it and everything.
Oh, they're so perfect, aren't they?
I know, except I walked in there tonight and he's jumped back up onto the kitchen sink and he's looking at me, Dad, turn the tap on. Mate, you've got your own private thing down there.
It's not the same.
I know.
Not the same.
I bought one.
Not the same unless you go over and turn it on for me.
Well, we keep trying to introduce them to it, and they sort of look at it and then, what's going on? I've seen him drink from the tray. It's like a little silver tray thing.
Yeah.
But he's not drinking from the tap, his tap, where he likes to come up and drink from the kitchen tap.
Is it fed from a tank, or is it like you plug a hose pipe in it type thing? Or?
No, it's completely self-contained. So you have
fill it full of milk.
Yeah, no, they don't
drink. But once they've done that, they'll like the novelty of it, and then once they've done all the milk, then put water in it, and they go, yeah, we get it now. Whereas Lily ate the one we bought them. It's all over the garden the following morning in little bits. It smashed all the plastic up and everything.
Yeah,
little moo.
Never mind. Oh, dear me. Okay, I've definitely reached that point now where I'm like, what day is it today?
Oh, God, yeah.
I have no idea.
It's hard to distinguish between weekends and
like,
weekdays and stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No clue.
Yeah.
In fact, right as she said that, I was like, "Is tomorrow Friday?"
I know, right?
It's not. That's right. Today's Sunday. Right? Yeah. Well, it's Sunday here.
Yeah. Well,
Monday,
it's Monday now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Monday here. Yeah. We're speaking from the future.
I hope they don't expect me to work tomorrow. Jeez.
I don't go back until Thursday. Thursday's my first.
I got to do a little bit actually. But
I haven't decided yet.
I woke up the day after Christmas, and it was like 6 or 7 in the morning. I just checked my computer, and someone had emailed me 11 o'clock on Christmas night, and like some urgent crap, and then like so next thing you know, I was like, "What is going on? What are you all doing?"
I know.
Jeez.
I've had people call me that aren't family or friends, like close friends, and I'm just like, not answering you. Sorry, I'm off. I used to be terrible. I used to I used to answer all of those calls. I used to check work emails. I used to do all of that stuff.
Easy to do.
It's so easy, and because I was worried that if I didn't, there'd be something that would like hit me in the face on the
hit
first
you on
day
the
back.
face. And this
So I
would
think-
have, by the way.
Yeah.
It would have hit me in the face. Yeah.
So I decided, nope, some while back, I said, there's no way I'm answering any, unless I'm absolutely 100% bored, got nothing else to do. I don't care who you are. I won't be answering any calls that pertain to work.
Well, I think the way I'm gauging it this year, or the start of next year anyway, is when the bank account gets down to double figures, and I'll think about actually going back to work.
Yeah.
Because at the moment it's like, no.
That's the other thing. I've got like 2 invoices outstanding that were submitted before Christmas, but haven't been paid yet, and they probably won't get paid until like next week or something. It's not like I'm relying on that cash, but I need to be spending some money. I need to buy this mixer. So, and then what was I looking at? I was looking at an Osmos yesterday, and I thought, they're 1,500 new now at Toman.
Oh, they kept running sales on them. Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't broken yet.
And then today, literally about half an hour ago, whilst looking for something else completely different, eBay, in its suggested items, it knows me far too well. There's an immaculate Emu Proteus 2500 module. You know, the big command station thing, like for you, for $899.
All those knobs.
Mint.
Yes, well.
Yeah, that's tempting.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter how tempting anything is at the moment. I think I've just got to stay away from buying any gear.
That's what I'm doing.
Software is included on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful. I know. Moo kept sending those
Yeah.
Moog, those trying to get everyone to buy those Foger collections. And then they got smart. They're like, you don't have to buy all of them. We'll sell you 2 for this price, or 3 for this. I think they sent me 3 different sales requests within a month, like pre-Thanksgiving, you know what I mean? Like pre-Christmas, and then or whatever. And then I saw it again, I think a couple days ago, and I keep like, don't do it. But I really want the MIDI Murph so bad.
Well, I've been getting all the special offers and the coupons and all the stuff coming through on the email for the Carvera, where they've got new bits and pieces available for it, or the half price this and 10% off that and all that sort of thing. I'm going, you do know we've just had Christmas, don't you?
Oh, I know. It's just it's so.
But there was one thing that irked me. I got this it's the Z plane, so it's the lathe thing. So it turns, but the head comes this way, and does all the carving. And they go, we've got this new one now, and it's got a much better motor in it. It's got a harmonic motor, which means more torque and more accuracy because it has a minimized throwback.
It's a drone instrument too.
Yeah, and it's normally $699, but we're doing it for $100 off, so it's now $599. However, you can get a further $150 off if you use this coupon. And I'm going, it's like $440 odd. I'm going, for something they're trying to sell me because they didn't get the first one right.
Yeah.
So
that's
I'll stick with the first one.
Neither here nor there. That's
because the first one was, the Big's bollocks when it came out, so it's still the Big's bollocks. So
that's what they're going to do with the Osmos. The Osmos 2.
Can I just see? We're talking about mode and sales. I'm sure I got some. Oh, there you go. Yeah,
keep your hands free. Keep your hands free. Your hands, Robbie.
no, they've got
Step
a
away
sale
from
on
the computer.
I thought it was a new thing, but actually I've just had a look and it's not. It started a couple of weeks ago. Because I'm like, oh, is the Muse in the sale? No.
Yeah, but you see, one time a day you used to have a sale. Like you had a Black Friday. Now, every day is a Black Friday, regardless of what the day is. It seems to go on forever.
Well, it's like a chain reaction. Once one person starts a sale, or
Yeah, but then you'd have
somebody
these
else
people go,
jumps in.
oh, you got 12 days, and then and then you've missed your chance, and then 12 days later they go extended
Oh yeah, they always
due to bloody blah. You go,
I know.
yeah, you had no fucking intention of shutting that down in
I
12
would
days.
now work off the principle that I won't, if I see something, something comes through in an email or I see on the webpage, if it's not the most ridiculously low price that would actually make me go, yeah, I'm having that. That's I can't miss it. I won't buy it because I know that eventually it will become the price that I want it to be.
Yeah.
Invariably. And if it doesn't, then maybe it's just something I don't really want. But most of the time, if you just hang out and you just think, no, I don't need this right now, but I can wait a little bit, and then there'll be a sale at some point during a 12-month period where it'll go absolutely stupidly low, and you go, yep, there you go, that's my... It was like Contact 8. That eventually went down to, the low 70s or 80s in quid, pounds.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, that's it. I'm having it.
Arturia does that with the software. Not so much with the hardware, but the software will kind of... There's good sales and then there's better sales.
Yeah.
And it's really... it's hard to know. Like, well, this last one was really good. This last update they did right around, I guess, Black Friday or something, because I had found V Collection 8, I don't know, for like $50 or something last year. Someone told me about it. I found it. And then, well, I've owned a lot of their products, for fair enough, but then I think I upgraded to this V Collection. I don't even know what we're on anymore, 10 or 11.
10.
Oh, 10.
And it wasn't much. I think I paid $100. So I think I got the whole thing, but I passed for a few years. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. No, I don't think it's this. But they get me on all the hardware, so it doesn't matter. They still.
Yeah.
But, to be fair, Arturia, price-wise, are very good. Yeah.
Oh, they're fabulous. You could buy it for. No, it's more the psychological, because I don't really use it a lot, but sometimes they're like, okay, they're basically giving it to you, Dave. Just
yeah,
take them up on the offer.
Yeah, exactly.
$100. What do you get?
The only company that beats them on their collection price strategy, where if you own a bunch of stuff, they will discount the collection by a significant amount.
Yeah,
the only company that beats them on that is Cherry Audio, because
I haven't gone down that rabbit hole. I won't buy anything by them, and it's nothing against them, because I like them a lot, and I'm just like, I can't do it. And plus, I'm a huge GeForce fanboy, so not that I'm competing. I just I like to buy it.
GeForce released something recently where it was like the everything bundle or something. It was called.
I saw that.
But it was a little bit.
It was 1,000 and something, wasn't it?
It was quite a chunk of change, but
it was quite a lot of instruments.
You get a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I know. But I don't know. I just like their layout. Everything. It just looks so. I was playing with the M-Tron today and the Oddity 3, and the way it's laid out for me, it just looks so clean, and everything always works. And they think of everything. It's just so pro.
Yeah. They've hit a streak in the last couple of years where they just can't do anything wrong. They really can't.
It's just really good
and
stuff.
I can't say any more, but 2025 is going to see that go even further.
It's cool. Yeah, it's hard. You got to kind of pick your. Kent doesn't, but the rest of us maybe. You got to pick a lane at some point. I'm sorry, Kent.
What exactly do you mean by that, sir?
I've heard the stories of your garage.
Outside into the car park, sir.
You really got to come up with. You got to stop yourself. And Cherry Auto has been the one that's really almost had me sweating at times. But Korg luckily prices their stuff really high, so they keep me from buying stuff like Impulse, like the Wave State.
Yeah.
There's stuff I would love to have from them, but it's always so. I just looked at the Wave State today, and I know they ran a sale, but it's back up to like $200 or something for the software, and it's just like, no way, I'm not doing that.
I don't understand the pricing on their software. I really don't.
I know.
Yeah,
It's a shame because it's good.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's that good that I paid for the collection when it was at like version 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And I just had a bit of extra money in the pot, and I thought, yeah, I'll do it this time. And ever since then, the upgrades haven't been
Upgrades,
too
yeah.
they haven't been too bad. But I still think the upgrade price is a little excessive.
Yeah.
But
So depending
the
on
instruments are so well done.
Yeah, they do. I like. No, it's nothing. Yeah,
And I've got everything. I've got all of the legacy collection. I've got the Wave State, the Op 6, the Mod Wave.
I know that's what I want. I would love a good bundle on the modern stuff.
I'm hoping
because it would really be fun. I mean, when Arturia did the Mini Freak, it's really cool. I love the software one.
Yeah.
Did I tell you I got that programmer pot for the PS3200?
Oh, you finally got one?
Yeah, I found one.
Wow.
Had to get it from the other side of the planet, admittedly, but
because that's the one that's also
it's got a
it's
stereo as well. Yeah, because it's got the two sets. Yeah, it was a few quid. Now I've bought it. Now it's here. I can guarantee you, the old one will fucking turn up. I guarantee you. I'll probably be taking it out of Lily's mouth or something.
Yeah, or she'll shit it. Yeah.
In the next few days, something like that. What is that in that?
You'll hear this little squeal in the kitchen.
Yeah,
and she'll have pooped it.
Yeah.
Oh, you found it.
I think I've just reprogrammed myself. Yeah. So that'll be done.
Lily gets 64 patches.
I can get paid for it.
Yay! Cool.
Yeah, I think I got Chord Collection 3 when it was like a stupid deal. I want to say I paid like $200 for it, maybe around that. Then I upgraded to 4, and then I upgraded to 5. To me, I thought 4 was a little bit underwhelming. You get the microKORG, and then one of the Electribes, and then the Chaos Pad, which I never use.
The 4 update was a little bit, but
the 5 update was like.
The 5 update was better, but the 4 update you felt kind of obliged to buy, because if you didn't, you know that going from 3 to 5 would probably cost you a bit more. So it just keeps you on the wagon, which I felt was a little cynical, but But I'd like to see, if they do a Chord Collection, well, they will do a Chord Collection 6. I'd like to see the 3300.
Yeah.
Because when we're at Super Booth this year, they got the full size 3300, and it wasn't behaving because it's still, essentially it's still a prototype. Yeah. But there was this little Japanese guy, which he'd obviously flown in from Japan, from Korg Japan, and he's got his laptop, and on his laptop is a software version.
Yeah.
And he's talking to the hardware with this software. So I don't think they would just create a tool to manage the 3300.
Yeah.
With all of that graphic design, because it was a 3300.
He was talking to the 3300 with a laptop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't fill me with confidence.
Yeah. I mean, I'm imagining that what I think they've probably done, and this is complete speculation. I'm not breaking any NDAs or anything here. This is just me in my head thinking that what they will have likely to have done, given that they've done the ARP 2600 now in software, and they've done the
Odyssey
and the Odyssey and the 700S in software.
700S.
All of those were hardware reissues that they put out, so they must be putting out a 3300 software instrument, and that will act as an editor and a librarian. So I think that's what he was probably using, unless all they've done is create an editor librarian for the 3300. So when you spend your £13,000 or whatever it is, you get a software editor librarian, because it's all it's got USB, MIDI, and all that stuff. So I'm imagining there'll be a way to dump presets in and out and manage stuff. But I would hope that actually is going to be a plugin at some point, because Yeah, they've got to.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because they've got form, you know. They do a full-size version in hardware, they do a mini version in hardware, they do a software version.
You do know that the 3300 is basically, look at the size of my dick.
Yeah.
Because it's 331s.
Yeah.
But people will buy it because it's a
People,
3300,
yeah.
because it's
But-
the mythical 3300.
Exactly. But the thing is, when it comes to software, you could have the 31 and you just run 3 tracks.
I know, yeah.
Mm.
But,
However,
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
for exactly the same reason why that 3200 that's in the office is going up for, I think he said it's going up for like 120,000. But
yeah.
it's the most restored PS3200 on the planet. Yeah, but you know, if you've got the money, knock yourself out. But
I found
the
out
string
the other
things with
week,
tits.
there's a company in the UK up in Stockport. Is it Stockport? And they're called Resonance Studios. And what they do is they've gathered and amassed a huge amount of vintage gear, and you can hire. Basically, you hire time in this place, and then you can just bring in your laptop. You can mess around, track with the instruments, whatever you want to do. You just sort of like rent the studio for a few hours or a day or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were at Bristronica, and they were next to us on the Sunday, and they brought a bunch of bits and bobs. I think they got the 1200 there. They've got the Waldorf Wave, a couple of other bits. Yeah, it was a lovely. And the guy that who I think is the owner, lovely guy, really nice guy.
Yeah.
We've kind of had a chat and might be doing some stuff. Anyway, I followed them on socials, and the other week they said it has arrived, the Yamaha DX1. I'm like, oh. Now, where did they get that from? And then I was flicking through the pictures.
Don't look at me.
No. Well, this is it. I mean, there's not many around. Obviously, Keith got his, and we know where that came from. But then I was flicking through the pictures, and I noticed there's a bloody great step-down transformer, or a step-up transformer, whatever you want. Yeah, because it's obviously 100. It's either 100 or 110. So it's either Japanese or American.
Yeah.
So they've imported that from somewhere, because I don't recall seeing a Japanese or American.
But they do
DX1
both,
for
don't
sale.
they? Because
No, not always.
oh no, only I'm wearing these headphones. Silly husky.
Yeah, not always. Some of them did come with just a single
Oh,
voltage.
the Japanese ones.
Yeah,
The Japanese
it's-
ones
so
didn't
it's
have the thingy, did
so
they? The-
it's gotta
for
be
the Japanese
Japanese.
market. So it was clearly was a Japanese one
Yeah.
at some point.
so
Right.
I don't remember seeing that one up for sale, but it looks okay. It looks in good nick. So
I'm trying to think who's got one of them.
if you want to get some time with a DX1,
DX.
you can pay for it.
Coldplay have got one.
Are they really?
Yeah. Oh, they got everything. Whether they know how to use it.
Yeah. This is the thing that made it stand out for me. In their blurb, in the Resonance Studio blurb, they were saying, "Oh, the legendary, mythical, only
Yeah.
140 ever made Yamaha DX1, as used by," and then they just stuck a whole load of names down, thinking,
And I'm reading this on my iPad, having a shit on the toilet, looking at two of them.
"Yeah, exactly." and I'm looking through the names. I'm thinking, well, maybe they had one. And then they made the claim that New Order used it on True Faith, and I'm like, no,
No.
not true. They used a DX5, same engines,
Yeah.
different synth, because that DX5 was sold a few years ago by
Well, we
Pete
know
Hook.
that we know Keith's got one. We know you got one. We know what's his mush had one. I believe he sold it.
Did Steve Porcaro have one?
when you say what's his mush.
Oh, hang on,
I know Simon's got one.
Mark Knopfler,
Knopfler's got one, yeah.
because we
Mark-
were pulling boards out of Mark's to
We
put
were
into
swapping
your
boards,
one
yeah.
to try and locate the thingy.
Simon's got
um,
one.
Simon's got one, yes. Now there's somebody else who's got one. Oh, it'll come to me in a minute.
I know UVI had one.
Kevin Nolan I believe, has
Has
one.
Kevin? It wouldn't surprise
I
me.
believe he has. That's 5.
Mm.
So where are the other 145 of them?
35, yeah.
Well, 35, yeah. No, it's 140, that's right, yeah. Some of them will be dead.
Well, there's the guy in America whose name escapes me at the moment. Is it Ron? And yeah, there's a guy in the US
Right.
who's got like he's got a DX1 and above it his DX5, a bit like what I've got there, and then
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got at least one of them. I know that there was. Who's the guy that runs? Who's the guy that
Sweetwater?
runs Sweetwater?
Yeah, he's got one.
He's got one because Syntor. Syntor sourced his one.
Yeah,
Right.
I watched that one.
Uli Behringer has one. That's very true. Uli Behringer bought Tears for Fears one.
Rob Rosen was working on one, so there's somebody in California got one.
Yeah.
Trying to think.
What I want to do this coming year is I want to treat the DX1 to some proper polish on the wood, just to get it back to that sort of deep reddish brown. Gonna do something like
Yeah, about that.
that. Okay.
Don't quote
Should I
me
just
on
piss
this.
on it?
Don't quote me on this, but I think it's Formica
No, it's Brazilian rosewood.
effect. Formica.
No, it's Brazilian rosewood.
No, it's veneer, isn't it?
It's Brazilian rosewood veneer, but yeah.
Do not
Brazilian.
go mad with it. It is
Okay.
mentally thin.
Okay.
It's mentally thin. So don't go too crazy. But yeah, you can. What I would do is rough it very slightly with.
No, I'm just talking about wax polishing it.
No. Go over it first with a little bit of 1200 or
Okay.
1600,
Yeah.
right? And take some of the old polish off.
Okay.
Then apply a stain, and then apply the wax,
Oh, okay.
and then go over it with the buffer,
Okay.
and she will thank you for that.
Okay.
Okay, but we're talking la 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 la. Don't
Yeah, just very lightly.
just
yeah.
la 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 la, and you'll see it'll go sort of a whitish colour, and you know you're there. You're getting there.
Okay.
So I can see you bringing it down. Because the other one that I think Keith has now that had no wood on the top edge on one
really?
side, and I got a matching veneer, glued it on, shaped it and all the rest of it, stained it, flattened it and polished it to the point where it really doesn't look like it was ever done. Do you know what I mean?
Nice.
And I was really happy with that because I thought this is going to look ridiculous. It's going to be a different colour from the rest of the case, you know. And it didn't. It really come out quite well. I was really pleased with that.
Yeah.
But then I'm supposed to be. That's my job. That's what I'm supposed to do, isn't it?
Exactly.
So
Right, I'm just going to get a top up.
I'm just surprised I haven't had any toe lecturing jobs for ages and ages now. I really miss the hit I used to get from the 523 glue or 532. I can't remember what bloody name it was. God dear, pink elephants for at least 3 or 4 hours after doing a CS80. I was hoping the SOR guys might turn up and have a bit of a jam.
I know.
So,
You guys have been having some nice jams. Huh?
Nah, they're
Yeah.
scared.
I mean, they sounded good. The jams.
yeah.
They have
I mean,
a nice setup too. I mean, I was like, I don't know. It's not that I'm surprised that everybody sounds good. It's just, it's asking a lot sometimes to throw some people together and just get something that kind of works. And sometimes it's like, wow, this is actually starting to work.
I must admit that the magic moments definitely the mouth organ, the harmonica, because you just don't get that kind of sound often, do you?
No, it's got even to the computer, it's got some texture. It's weird, like just the space.
Yeah, not unless I fire up the DX7.
Yeah.
It's the same way with like percussion, right? It's just adds. You know. But I agree, it sits really nicely in there.
Absolutely. Right, let's see if we've got any.
Yeah, I've had a few times where I've been kind of listening on my phone, and I almost want to go run down the studio and turn the speakers on, but it might be late or something at the time, and I'm like, oh man, I'd love to blast this right now, really.
Yeah.
On a better system than phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that SRR's been a nice shot in the arm, hasn't it? It's kind of.
Oh, it said cooking dinner right now.
Oh.
Have to see if he's taken his sleeping pill yet. Need to be up super early tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have my back procedure tomorrow. Fingers crossed, last one. Yeah, so they might be.
Yeah.
Knocking it on the head early, which is fine.
It's fine. It is what it is.
There's always another day.
Yeah.
That's the good thing. Ooh, hello. That's you, innit? I've told you once. I've told you 1,000 times. Stop sitting on the expression pedal. Moo. Yeah, I'd forgotten about her back procedures. Poor girl. So she reckons one more, hopefully. So that'd be cool. So it will be good.
Yeah, my wife had one kind of a sciatica kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, it was weird. Like when he got in there, he just barely shaved off a little bit, moved whatever it was. That it really wasn't that bad. Like theoretically, it wasn't that bad, but it was causing that much pain. It's just like, holy cow.
Yeah, but it messes up your day, doesn't it? Just, any productivity or anything like that.
Oh no,
window.
She was in immense pain for months, right? Trying everything.
Christ.
But I guess my point was that when they got in there, it wasn't even that. It didn't take much to create like a really immense amount of pain. Just when things get a little bit messed up, or damaged.
Yeah. So, you thinking about joining some of these jams?
Me?
Getting back in it? Yeah. Get the cobwebs out, mate. Come on.
Yeah, you, Sir Jack.
I guess if I could get the setup figured out, it would be a good challenge for me. I'm just, I work.
Hey, that's what the pubs are for.
Is that it?
Yeah, getting shit set up, mate. Trust me. We've done many a pub.
Yeah, I was kidding.
3 or 4 hours going. Why isn't it working? Can you hear it now?
No,
Yeah, hence, yesterday?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of the quiz. What do you mean there's an echo?
It is, though. That's the one cool thing about like doing this kind of stuff. There's always a new challenge, and you never master whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah, I know.
Except Justin, of course, but the rest of us.
Yeah, we live in this place of who knows.
Well, I look at my computer, and like you said, I mean, I've got a decent amount of software too. And it's like, boy, if you could pull all this stuff out and put it all around, it's so, know.
Yeah, I know.
And I just think I've got to use this stuff for. Some of it is so good. It's fun,
Still, we still keep talking about it. We still haven't really got around to doing one of those Jam Tabba sessions.
Oh, yeah.
I've never figured it out.
I did get on one of those, actually. I remember being on one.
Yeah.
It's such a pain in the arse.
It was probably
I know.
forgettable.
But you know what?
Figure that out.
To be able to have a drum pattern running that everybody else is actually in time with, or a sequence or something. Because it's like even on SOR, where I think it was a couple of shows ago, and they had that drum working, and to me, I'm hitting the beat, but when you watch it back, you go, oh God.
Well, that's the thing.
Awful.
Yeah.
So like it's just precisely out on every time. It's sort of like, it's the keyboardist you want to shoot on stage. Like,
But the cool
you're
thing is,
ruining it.
if it's really slow and it's ambient, it's amazing.
That's
You can-
fine. Yeah.
you can get away with so much.
But it does it. I think because if you can't, if you have to stay away from sort of like a rhythm or a sequence or something to give a flow, and you have to stay away from that, it limits you quite a bit.
Oh,
at the same
yeah,
time.
no
Do you know what I
doubt.
mean? Because you go, do you know what? What would be absolutely beautiful? I mean, 1,000 times I thought, we're doing this ambient ramble, and you go, now somebody could come in with a drum machine now.
Or just a woodblock and go tunk and like center it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you did it,
Yeah.
it's a good chance it's going to be off.
Yeah, because it must be terrible for Lamar with his bass.
Oh yeah.
Because bass is, it's the kind of thing where it
About
really
rhythm.
does need to be on the beat, and if not, syncopate. But it has to be. You have to know where the beat is in the first place. So it's sounding perfect there, and it's always sounding slightly staggered
Yeah, and
here.
it's
And then
really,
I'm going to that, and it's going back, and then it's more staggered from that by the time it gets back again.
And if you lose confidence that you're hearing things right, it really messes with you. It's almost like when you go out live and play, if you can't hear everyone,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's maddening almost. Like you're just like, well, now I can't react to anything because I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
It's-
Because when you've got those sort of things, and you sort of like come across a point where, what it needs here is this piano just to go bam, 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 like that. But it's got to be on the beat. And of course, what you actually hear is everything out. And it's like, oh, God.
Well, you could, and the same thing with percussion, right? You can do some really cool, kind of just more orchestral kind of things, bells or something, and just real subtle. But if it's not, it's all about the spacing. And if you don't feel the space, if you're not sure what the space is, you're just
all the
or
more
you just
reason
put a lot
if
of
we're
delay
going
on
to
it. You just
all
go,
the more reason if we're going to have Robbie with his drum room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went into the garage this morning.
How crowded is it?
Pretty crowded. I mean, even after I looked at the emulator that's going back to you, and the Fairlights, even, I'm thinking, Jesus, there's so much shit here.
Yeah.
I need to actually go and have a look at the storage facility, because I can't. I'll go to the storage facility website, and they say you can have this size, which and they quote in like a square footage or something, and I'm like, I don't know what that means in real terms. So I need to go and actually have a look at the unit and find one that's about as big as my garage, and then that'll be the one, and then figure out how to bloody pay for it. I mean, I'm going to stick it through the business, and my son has actually said my son is that desperate to get the drum set up again. He said, I'll help, I'll pay some. And I'm like,
nice.
But you're paying for driving lessons and hopefully you're saving money so you can fucking move out. But he's offering to pay me for storage and stuff. So but I need to sort that, because Roland want to ship that kit like mid-January, sort of third week in January. I've had to ask them for a hi-hat stand, because I don't have a hi-hat stand anymore, because my kit, the hi-hat's mounted on the frame.
Yeah, on the frame.
On the Alesis. But with the Roland, it's a proper hi-hat stand with a digital hi-hat on the 716.
We see what Asa's saying about it's not really a huge deal, but setting it up to run in the pub is harder. And this is where this Mac Mini would come in, because if the Mac Mini ends up being what we run the pub on, and it's actually the stream out,
Well,
and then all we have to do...
I could run the pub here from my laptop.
Well, yeah.
That's I can have the MacBook here, and then be involved with the jam tabber on the main machine.
That's the trick, isn't it?
Rather than you buy a whole new bloody computer just for that purpose.
I've got the Mac Mini here.
Oh, that Mac Mini. So I thought you meant
that Mac Mini.
Yeah,
that because all it's got to do is just do the stream.
Which should be
Nothing
fine.
to it. Nothing to it. In fact, it can
Especially if
sit
you get
there
that
on top of
open-
the other thingy.
especially if you do that thing that we were talking about the other day, where you put the I can never remember the bloody name of it. You know, that where it allows you to run the more up to date operating system on an old system. We were talking about the
Oh.
Open Locker or something. It's called.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Well, the thing is, because it's got to do is stream a YouTube stream.
Should be.
Catalina on that is like,
Yeah,
yeah, not a problem, mate. You know, and out it goes. Because the problem was, I think when we tried it initially, it was everybody was coming back to me, and then I'm streaming it out.
Yeah.
Here was the issue because we're hearing what's coming in and what was going out, and that's at two different times. So I'm hearing two bits of music at the same time, and it was like, so yeah. So a second computer should.
Yeah.
Well, that's the easiest.
Get around it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and now we've
Sounds
got the gigabit here. Shouldn't be an issue either way.
Sounds like a Peter Gabriel song. Stuff coming out, stuff going in, just a part of everything.
Isn't it a shame about Jimmy Carter?
Jimmy Carter.
Well, he did make 100.
I know.
Yeah, he made 100.
He made
That's,
it.
Yeah.
Good
It
on him.
is. It's a shame. He was
And still,
love that.
you know, almost up to the last minute, still doing amazing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
he was an amazing guy.
yeah. It always struck me as quite a nice bloke.
Yeah.
Probably the
Even
nicest.
and the contrast is even more stark now.
I mean, you could say he was the last kind of rational, normal president. 'Cause, you know,
I don't know. Obama
got-
seemed all right.
oh yeah, sorry, Obama. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, Obama was pretty cool. I mean, but still, Carter was special. Well, Carter was special to me, that's for sure. He
Yeah,
was like, oh, so you can be kind of like, you can have some power and still be a good person.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, legitimately. Like,
Yeah.
I'll never be happy how they kind of destroyed him. Tried to make him look like a weak, whatever, They just, but that's politics, right? That's too many people that want that power and money a lot more, I think, than he wanted it. He was like, okay, whatever.
yeah.
But yeah, 100's pretty good, man. It's not,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I must admit, I think this Jam Tabra thing. I know there's other types.
but it worked, didn't it, Jim Tabo?
It seemed to work fine.
It did
I mean,
seem-
even I understood it, so it was like, bloody hell.
Yeah,
okay.
me too. I actually clicked on it and it
Yeah.
worked. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. I mean,
Oh,
you get
that's
some
it, yeah.
randos coming in, but that was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's the point.
Yeah, exactly so. So, yeah. So I don't know. Probably this week might be a good idea. It's one
Yeah,
of those,
all right.
'cause it's a bit of free time, isn't it?
Yeah, this is definitely.
Because it'd be nice, to select one of those sequences, or some of the one, on the new patches you've got, Rob, and you play it, and it's in time, and everybody can play with it.
Yeah.
Rather than you go, listen to this, and go, yeah, it's brilliant, but we can't play with it because everything's going to be out by.
Exactly.
Well, this person's out by half a second. This person's out by 200ths. This person's out by 1.7 or whatever. And it's like it'll just be a fucking mess.
I mean, StreamYard seems to do a really good job, because the fact is, no matter where we all are in the world, obviously Dave's in Colorado, Justin is where are
Somewhere.
you, Justin?
I'm in Maine.
That's it. You're in New England, so
Yeah.
and then we're in the UK, and yet within the StreamYard framework, we are all, there's no delays.
It's
Nice.
crazy, isn't it?
It's very good.
It's like maybe like a short one, but you don't notice it.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
so minuscule.
There is.
I mean, there
is
obviously is a
delays,
late-
but
there is
it
one,
does-
but it's
it's
so-
not noticed until it has to be accurate.
Yeah.
But conversations and stuff like that, or even.
But
just
that's why
playing
the
it-
jams tend to work really well in here, obviously without
Yeah.
the drums. But the jams really work very well here, even with like rhythmic stuff, as long as it's kind of loose rhythmic stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
The minute
Yeah.
you start going like, four to the floor or whatever it might be, then the accuracy, you're just going to get those little wobbles. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I think, when
It's
when
cool
I'm hearing-
though.
when I'm hearing Lamar play on the bass, and he's obviously playing to a rhythm,
Yeah.
I can play along to that, and it seems like other people are playing along to it, and it sounds all pretty much in time.
It's
I know
pretty good. It really is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was like that time we tried out the Jam Tabber here, and what I was hearing was each person in the window is obviously hearing everything at a different time, but what was coming back was all in time.
Yeah.
And it was, and it was absolutely spot on because we were running drum machines and all sorts of shit, and it was like everything was on the beat, and it was like this
That
is
was cool.
brilliant. But
I do like drum machine.
everything else coming, what I'm hearing, what I'm playing, it's like oh shit, on the top, which is obviously at a different time, and you sort of like, now which one am I playing to? So unless I can figure out a way of doing, no, we tried that with Loopback, see if I could isolate it and send it out without me hearing it.
Unless there was a way we can run our mics into Jamtaba and then have the conversation in there at the same time.
Yes, yeah, exactly so.
So
I think
that way, that's the only thing that I'm listening to, and I'm not listening to StreamYard plus Jamtaba, because that'll throw me completely off.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that would
As
be the
performers,
case.
we've got to standardise on a single platform, and Jamtaba is
Yeah.
going to be the one.
Yeah.
And then the StreamYard element of it will just be for the audience. So we can so whoever's running the stream can share the output of the stream into StreamYard, and people can watch / listen and comment on it, but obviously it'll be slightly delayed to what we're doing, but that doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
We've got you have to silo it. You have to have a silo for the viewers and a silo for the performers.
Yes.
And that's
because what people in the room are hearing, it will be at a completely different time to what people listening to it in YouTube will be hearing. But they'll hear everything in time. We hear everything in time, but it's two different times it's happening at.
Come on, Chuck, say hi.
Hey, hello. Hey. Do you know what?
Robbie, hey!
When you did that,
who was going to do that?
when you was doing that, you know what it reminded me of? Do you remember the giant kitten in the goodies
Yes,
knocking down the post office tower?
that was
Now,
Jackson.
he reacts a little too much. Cleopatra would have never done that to me. Would have never made me look bad.
No.
Tux will make me look bad, but he's a good boy. All right, do you want to go?
Yeah, fuck you, Dad.
Yeah.
I'm off.
No,
You pull me up by the scruff of the neck again. Fuck you.
yeah, I'll
There you go,
work.
pencil sharpener.
Yeah, yep.
He's out.
I'll work up to that. Don't worry, I'll get there.
Let's try to get nuts.
Yeah,
I won't do it.
yeah, goody yum yum. Yeah, so I think it's something we should have a crack at actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds fun.
for shits and giggles.
Yeah, why not?
This one licks.
Well, what is it costing me? 1,100 quid a year now. So get some fucking use out of it.
What
Good
is
Lord.
your internet?
No,
StreamYard.
StreamYard, yeah.
Oh, no wonder
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
did you say
Yeah, well,
they doubled
Well,
it?
there
or
you
something?
go.
They
So that
literally
makes-
doubled it.
Literally doubled the price of
Oh,
StreamYard for the
that's
year.
not- Yeah, that's
Interesting.
not
I'm
actually.
still only paying $50 a month.
I mean, to be fair, they are actually adding bits fairly regularly. They're tidying things up and they're doing things. They're not they're not necessarily doing some of the things that I want
No,
do.
yeah.
but they are doing stuff.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
works, and it's a properly supported platform. I'm sticking with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
I'll be
Some
honest with you. I
effects.
messed around with that OBS,
yeah.
Yeah.
or that OBS system. Yeah, Jesus, no.
It's got a learning
Oh,
curve
it's
like
awful.
this.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
awful.
steep.
And once you get it all set up, you just like never. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I got fairly adept at it in the early days of PSN, but I was so glad when I didn't have to do that anymore and just let
Yeah, I remember doing
Yeah.
some. I was doing just casual, like doing some live. I think I had to do it because I was doing a live jam, like for some event. It was probably around COVID. So I remember someone sat with me and walked me through. We got it all set up,
Yeah.
and I used it for a little bit, and then I think that computer went bad, and that was it. And I was like, oh man, forget it. I'm not redoing that. I don't even know what I did. Yeah, it's definitely not as easy. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's.
And the thing is, I bought a year's subscription to that Ecamm, and I still it was going to be one of the things I was going to do over Christmas was experiment with Ecamm to see if I could move across to that, because that offers so much more customization, but in a much it kind of offers the level of customization that OBS does, but in a much more polished way, shall we say.
Oh, but by the way, ACO, mate, don't worry. It's technically I'm not paying it. Technically, my clients are paying for that.
The business.
Don't worry, mate.
Stick it on the business.
Yeah, everybody's getting an extra £3 on their bill. Yeah. No, don't worry about it.
Tax.
Because I don't want to
Yeah, pretty
monetize.
much.
I would hate to monetize the pub. No. Yuck.
No, all our copyright strikes are doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're not monetized, so we can say what we
Let's
want.
make sure. Yeah.
Yeah, if we monetize it, you've got to watch your P's and Q's. Fuck that for a game of soldiers.
Yeah, you do and you don't. You just have to.
Well, there are limitations, whereas...
You have to not let Ty on here, that's all. No.
Yeah, I mean, I have to tick a box for every stream. Figuratively, I have to tick a box that says that the content of the show is not going to be offensive, etc., etc. Basically,
not deliberately, anyway.
Yeah, not deliberately. So basically, it's to absolve the advertisers of any comeback should we turn into an absolute swear fest and show pornographic images and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, or when somebody mentions the price of the OPXY and then
Or
somebody
that
hears
too,
it for the first
yeah,
time. Like,
absolutely. So it basically absolves them of any responsibility. But I mean, I think the worst that we get is an occasional one or two curse words, and that's it. And they've never complained about that.
Yeah.
So,
well, exactly. Yeah,
But-
Fixed Monetized can't talk about barnyard sex.
but if
anymore.
we
It's
we
one
went
of my
that other
favourite
step,
subjects.
well, yeah, but if we went along the lines of getting in sponsors, so a bit like Nick does. So Nick has Native Instruments and Isotope or whoever it might be. So he'll play adverts or he'll promote them during the show
yeah,
specifically.
you can't show the Range Rover anymore.
Yeah, we would. We would. Might fall foul of that, but we don't do that. So we rely on is the monetization that YouTube provide.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, it's all fun and games.
Yeah.
That was especially for As Your Head. Oh, mate. Well, this is it. I mean, I found when it comes to audio, though, I found that StreamYard is much better
Yeah.
with the
Agreed.
audio than, especially Zoom.
Zoom,
I
yeah,
didn't really
gosh.
like it at all. It's not good at all. That's quite sort of like, oh, no. So, would you, like, Lily?
I wonder how Zoom are
Big tally
doing now
alert.
as a company now that COVID's finished, because they
Yeah,
must
really.
have had a massive surge in business over.
Oh,
COVID.
they all did, though, didn't they? I mean,
But even the company I work for the day job, they've always been very Microsoft based, and so we were using Teams before COVID, and we just used it more during COVID. We didn't have to suddenly transition to or implement a solution. It was already there. We just started using it more. But I do wonder, that obviously Zoom had a surge in business from 2020 to probably 2022, 2023. I wonder what it's looking like now, whether it's a sustainable thing or whether people have. I don't know, because I know I can certainly feel like in the company I work for that behaviours have changed, and there is. They might not say it specifically, but they are implying that if that meeting or that thing that you're wanting to do with other people can be done over Zoom rather than booking some flights and some hotels, we do it via Teams. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's like my team. We're 10 people strong in my little team, in the academy, we're 10 people, and we haven't gotten together as a team physically in the same room since 2017.
But shit gets done.
But stuff gets done. Absolutely.
Shit gets done. Yeah, shit gets done. And we
Yeah.
have monthly team calls on Teams. We have bi-weekly calls.
Yeah, you can do a lot.
Stuff like that. But there are still members of my team I have never met in person.
Yeah.
I've never hung out with. I've never sat at a bar and had a drink with, or had a meal with. And that's how you really get to know people. I mean, there are people on my team that I get incredibly frustrated with, but that's probably because I don't know them as people. I just know them as a voice at the end of a Teams call or an email.
Yeah.
I had a colleague.
Yeah, but I mean, there's people that we've got to know, and they're literally only text in a column.
I know, but when you meet them in person, it adds a completely new dimension. When we're at shows and people come up to me, like Nick Howes, for example, I've known Nick in the chat for fucking ages. Only met him in October, and now I have a completely better formed opinion of Nick, which is a good one. So
But not far away from what you had to start with.
No, it's better because I actually know him as a person. When you see somebody typing
I know what
text,
you
like,
mean.
you can take it all the wrong way, or it could come across as, whatever. It can come across in all sorts
Well,
of different
it
ways.
brings a different dimension that was not present before.
But when you kind of know how that person behaves in the flesh, and then you read those things, they take on a different sort of aura, should I say?
It has a different meaning.
Yeah, it has nuance. It has,
'Cause
personality.
I know everything there is to know about the Buick Riviera, but I won't know that car until it's here.
Exactly.
I've taken it apart, put it back together, and driven it down the road. Then I can tell you exactly what a Buick Riviera is.
Yeah, but there's so many people that I've met from the chat, and you form a much more fuller, if that's a word. You form a better formed impression of that individual once you've seen them in the flesh. I had a colleague in the job that I do, but he left. He's an ex-New York beat cop, and he is you watch Hollywood movies and you see New York beat cops and they're all wisecracking, kind of thumbs in the belt, sort of,
Yeah.
He's that. And I only ever communicated with, like, for the first year, I think it was, via emails and stuff, and didn't really, sort of have an opinion. But when I met him in person, it was just like, here's this fully formed human now. And he said to me, I love the fact that we can get together and we can smell each other. And I'm like, what? He said, you gotta smell someone to get to know them. And I'm like, do you know what? You're right. Because he comes from an environment, or, certainly, the bulk of his career was on the street as a beat cop in New York City. And, you got to smell people. You got to, it was his term, you've got to get to know people at a human level.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It can't just be text. It can't just be voice calls or video calls. It has to be human. And so I thought, I like that. You got to, because a lot of people say, you got to press flesh, and that sounds a little bit kind of like what a politician would say. But you got to smell people. I'm like, no, you're right. Actually, you do. You do have to smell people.
Did he smell of vanilla?
What did he? I can't remember what he smelled of.
Depends which part of him you smell.
But the thing is, he and I now are still really good friends. He's left the company many years ago, doing something similar elsewhere. But he and I still,
But the flip side, here's the flip side.
Go on.
You go to the office and you spend years with people, right? And then you stop and you almost don't ever see any of them again. And you go, I smelled them so much.
Yeah.
Why did I smell them so much?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is I think this is great because I would love to meet all of you
Yeah.
in person. But when it comes to my job, maybe also it's age at this point. I'm sure it's age. I have very little interest to put in quality time.
If my
Even
company-
drinks, that'd be fine. If they want to come over here, but if you're going to tell me to get on a plane,
Oh, mate. I mean,
I'd
for
start
me,
going like,
it's an occupational hazard. Right? I don't meet people unless they come here, and that's a very, very niche kind
but
of
you know what's cool about that?
situation.
The fact that they come there, man. is-
Oh yeah, but also,
You know what I mean? That is so.
But I think
awesome.
because it's always been like that for me, I
Because
like
nobody
to
comes
think.
here, I can tell you, except
Oh, yeah.
cats.
Well, look, I like to think that I have a really good hook on people from what they say. I can put a lot of a person's personality together, and like for instance, you know, these guys here, they can talk in the chat, and somebody could say something that's just, it seems, shall we say, aggressively rude, but I read it and I go, no, that's yeah, he's having a giggle, he's taking the piss.
Yeah, you get to know him.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
some
yeah,
of
yeah.
my if you talk to Paul Artola in person, like, you know, or if you Zoom with him, you know, he's so cool. He's such a great guy. But he is just like a little imp on the. You can barely get him to be serious on the chat half the time, and you're just like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And then you talk to him, and he's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
he's some, you know what I mean. That's you really do have to kind of.
I'm like that in the
you gotta
chat
put
as
the
well.
work in. The chat.
Yeah.
He's
Aw.
in there. I didn't even.
Yeah.
But you know, the funny thing, just to add to that, the chat is another whole thing, right? And you gotta put the time on. Somebody's gonna make you look stupid. You gotta put the time in the chat, you know.
Mongo not
Fucking
gay.
joke.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm leaving.
oh God. It's,
Yeah.
The
I've had-
chat's fun, man. Sometimes you
Oh,
want to
mate,
hang out in the chat.
I've been holding my sides with laughter before now, with some of the, with the chat, and
the chat's
actually
brilliant.
not even listening to the show at some point, and I'm just
Yeah, no, you can do like it's.
just these conversations start up and start bantering left.
Oh,
back
they
and
can
forth.
go. I had one. Oh God, I'm not even sure who it was with now, but it was about slippers, and we were talking about kind of slipping around the house and slip, and it just went on for an hour, and it was just. It was.
Anybody bring up Slipper Man? No.
It was so funny though. It was like I could not stop laughing thinking about it for days. I was like, that's so fucking funny, man. You know, but
Excuse me, Paul Holmes. What the fuck?
Oh, he might have a point
oh,
there.
that's awkward.
Depends on the
That's
show.
awkward.
Depends
Yeah,
on the show.
Yeah.
Not every show
Specify the
is
show.
100% glittering and hard
Okay.
knob, is it?
Yes. Yeah. We can't.
Sorry, yeah,
Right.
no, you're not.
Now,
What's his
Those
name?
are
Buddy.
What's his name?
words.
Mwah.
Those are
What's his
fighting
name?
words.
Yeah, what's his name? Come on.
What's his name?
Tux, unofficial.
Oh.
I call him Luke.
Tucked.
That's-
Oh, look at him.
Does that fit
He's
on the
good.
card,
He's good.
Tux Unofficial?
Unofficial Tux.
How do you put that on the collar?
He doesn't need a collar.
He doesn't need a
How
collar.
dare you?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Dare you. Look at him. He's a good boy.
We will
He's got a
not.
brother.
We will not. We will not brand him with
Oh, I
human
love you,
bonds.
Dad. I love you, Dad.
I know. See, cats love me. Humans.
Yeah. Dave's all about the pussy.
He gives
Never had a problem with
left
it.
turn. There it goes. He didn't even indicate. Just like they just parked it. Yeah, just like a bang like that.
Every time
Okay,
Dave
didn't
comes.
even look to see there was a car already there.
Oh, that's
Boom,
not
bang.
bad.
Oh, dear.
No, I love the putty cats. I must admit. I used to have 3. Miss them. Lovely little things.
All right, I gotta go have dinner. And play Taco
Yeah,
Cat.
do keyboard
Goat
chat.
cheese pizza.
Yeah, keep on.
Keep
No
losing to
cheese
the kids.
pizza.
Taco Cat, goat cheese pizza.
Oh, right. Goat
And
cheese.
if it does narwhal, you gotta do this. Gorilla is this.
Oh.
Groundhog is this. The kids stomp me. That's why they like to play me. They just stomp me. It's really bad. I think it's the age thing too. It's like I go, my brain's still processing, and there's like,
I played. Have you ever played Cards Against Humanity?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So was it Christmas Day evening?
Go
We all
on.
sat around the kitchen table playing Cards Against Humanity. To hear your children speak some of the stuff that's on these cards, and then to watch them, laugh heartily at some of the filth, the pure filth that's falling from their mouths, which I would happily say in a heartbeat. But when you hear your children, you're like, oh God, I'm old.
Yeah.
But it was funny. There was some hilarious responses on that one. Yeah, I got them all excited because I said, "Oh, have you got the card that's hidden in the lid of the box?" Because there's a secret card. If you buy certain packs of Cards Against Humanity, there's a secret card that's hidden in the lid of the box.
All right.
And honestly, I've never seen two people like, "Oh, give me, so look." And I said, "No, I don't think it's that one. I think it's another edition."
Yeah.
That was almost half as much fun as playing the game.
Getting cleaned.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, they do have a clean edition of that game. It's called Apples to Apples.
I've not seen that one.
No, I
I've seen
always
it.
think.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to swearing, you set the bar high and early, and that way
I've always taught
everything's
my
much
kids-
easier.
Yeah, I've always said to my kids, I don't mind you swearing, but when it's appropriate. And that's the skill to learn. You can learn to swear, but you need to learn to swear in the right places.
Yeah.
And mostly they seem to have learned that.
Yeah.
Bless 'em.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes
All right, I
a
get-
swear word where it's
Let's go, guys.
really
All right.
not needed can be quite hilarious.
Bath is getting serious.
Bye, Tux.
Unofficial.
See you
Unoffi-
later,
bye,
Tux unofficial.
Yeah,
Yes. See ya.
yeah.
That's a big collar pendant, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Tux
Yeah.
unofficial.
It'll be more like one of those big sort of wrapper chain things. wouldn't it?
Or like what Siri's got.
Or yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. She buggered off.
Bless her.
Do you know where Noah is? There's a cushion right under the desk, right under here, right in the corner.
He's in there.
And he's curled up on the cushion on the shelf. He's
Oh,
gone,
do you
mate.
know, I've just remembered about 7 hours ago, probably more, I got up from this chair and went to the living room to tell my wife something. And by the time I got there, which is like probably 10 steps, okay, from here to there, I'd completely forgotten what I was going to say to my wife. Spent the next 5 minutes trying to figure out what the hell was it I was supposed to say to my wife. Told her it'll come back to me at some point, whatever. It's literally just now come back to me. Weird.
I've done that to Fiona. You should try it as well. I suggest it. It's a good laugh. I went into her. This is last year, beginning of last year. I came into Fiona, and I went. She's sitting there on the settee, sort of like glass of wine, TV going, some godforsaken boring program, and I went. There was something I was supposed to tell you. Oh, what was it now? And she's going. I just wait until I get her interest going a bit more. And I go, now, what was it? Let me think. No, let me think. She goes, what was it about? I go, I'm just trying to remember. Something I was supposed to say to you. It was, you would really benefit from it as well. Oh, what was it? What was it like that? I went, so I'm still standing there like that, going, like this, with one hand behind my back, like this, and going, what was it? Like that. She goes, I don't know, what? I went, no, hang on. No, what was it? Like this, and then we go, I remember now. She goes, what? I went, it was, look out. And threw a great big fucking cup of water all over her. You go,
Yeah.
you've been warned. Like that.
Yeah.
But the next time I did, I had to use talcum powder. That was funnier. That was much, much funnier. I go, oh, do you know what? And she went, what? And I went, phew, duck. That was it, duck. Oh, mind you, she gets me back. Oh, does she get me back? Bitch. I was having a shower. Flower.
Oh, God.
She goes, all right, I'll wash off. Or she'll take all the towels, and it's like freezing cold out there. Okay, I'm not coming out. I'm just not coming out. I'm going to stand here naked and warm up and just wait until I'm completely dry. Then I'll come out. Seriously, they go, "Oh, Daddy, come out. I need love, Daddy." Oh, mate.
Oh, yeah.
God, we have fun. We really do. We're like a couple of kids. We really are.
That's what it's about, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah. I mean, because we have, because we have to do the serious stuff as well, and we get the serious stuff out of the way as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we've got to do this, and right. Okay. Well, then let's do that, and let's get that sorted now. You know.
Indeed. Oh, excuse me.
Try and remember that. What was that one she did? She got me. It was really bad. Oh, that was it. She was going to do all the bedclothes anyway, and she just put all this freezing cold water in the bed on my side, and because I just jumped into bed,
Right.
Taking my clothes off, jumped into bed, went, fucking, I'm soaking wet, freezing cold water. It's like 2:00 in the morning. Okay. Oh, thanks. She goes, "Yeah, I was going to change them, but you know."
Excuse me.
Little moo. Oh, hang on. Let's see if there's another black magic. Because the lady loves milk tray. They don't do that ad anymore, do they?
They don't, no.
But it's all only the ones with nuts.
Jackie bought a tub of Heroes.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it seems that this year's chocolate that people don't like is double deckers. They do the little mini double deckers. And there's about a dozen of them left in the box and nothing else. Everybody's eating around all the double deckers.
How weird.
I quite like a double decker.
I like a double decker.
Yeah.
However, Fiona brought one of the Quality Street tins, which is a joke because it's not a tin, and it's really thin now. It's like fucking stupid. And out of all of them, brand new tin, I counted 4 green triangles.
Really?
4.
How many little barrels, caramel barrels? Not many of those left these days.
Not many of them either. Actually, there wasn't much of anything in there.
No. Oh, yeah. No, you don't get a lot of humanity these days.
Oh, I thought you'd turn up. See the ears.
Jackie bought me a little bag of Bailey's chocolates.
Ooh.
Yeah, I haven't opened those yet. My daughter, who works at a grocery store supermarket,
Hang on a minute.
went to work. When did her first? Was it? I think did she go back in Boxing Day or the day after Boxing Day? I shit you not. They've got the Easter stuff in already, on the shelves already. They haven't even waited until the new year. They've got Easter stuff already on the shelves. Now, my daughter loves Cadbury's cream eggs and mini eggs. But
Yeah, who doesn't?
he doesn't. But Jesus. Jesus,
Yeah, I know.
yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what.
Well, yeah.
Oh, dear. Yeah. Mental.
Yeah, but, fucking hell.
Nah, not Valentine's. No, none of that. Valentine's is like, that's way down the list, isn't it? These days. Nah, all the Easter stuff already.
That's ridiculous.
We've only just celebrated his birth and now we're all going about his death. God.
Well, I bought Fiona a...
Yeah, merry capitalism.
Is it a Waitrose or Sainsbury's rabbit? Easter rabbit. Dark chocolate one. For Easter. And bar the head and the ears, it's still on the shelf above the telly in the front room. I keep saying to her, "You going to finish that rabbit?" Yeah. Okay. There you go, Neil.
Kill the rabbit, kill the rabbit,
Yeah.
kill the rabbit.
Oh, Groomhilda, you're so waffly. Yes, I know it, I can't help it. That's one of the best ones, really.
Oh, yeah. I've always loved Rabbit of Seville.
Yes.
There, you're nice and clean. Although your face looks like it may have gone through a machine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, I will stop and I will watch a Bugs Bunny cartoon or a Daffy. Duck season, rabbit season,
Rabbit season.
duck season.
Have you got a fricasseeing rabbit license? Yeah, FRICASSEEING. DUCK.
And do you know who the world's biggest fan is? Richard Hilton. He can recite them all. He loves them. And I love him more for it.
I used to know a lot of the Speedy Gonzales ones.
Oh, Christ, yeah.
And just to think,
Was it
those
Slowpoke
cartoons.
Rodriguez?
those cartoons were made in what,
No.
the 40s and the
Yeah.
50s?
Yeah.
You couldn't get away with nearly half that stuff.
No.
today.
No.
Unless you're
More the
family.
pity.
Yeah.
More's the pity because comedy is comedy.
But it seems so. I mean, there was something on Facebook. Somebody posted something about how long ago all these things were, and Donald Duck, 82 years ago. That's when Donald Duck. 82 years. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, it's like when you realise now that 1990 was like 35 years ago. 1990, which,
Spoiler rabbit.
Such an interesting monster, too. Come back here, you
They were classics.
rabbit.
Now, what a lot of those
That one.
cartoons do, like the Melody Makers and
Yeah.
Makers.
Merry
Was it Melody? No,
Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes and something Melody.
Merry
wasn't it?
Merry
Melodies.
Melodies. There you go.
Yeah.
Melody Maker
Yeah.
was a completely different thing.
Yeah, exactly.
When they show them now, they always put that little bit at the beginning that says may contain terms that were not
Yeah.
considered offensive at the time or something like that.
Yeah.
when did
but
when people become afraid of words?
I know, but I would rather they do that than
90s.
actually cut the shit out.
Yeah.
Just play the thing as it was
Absolutely.
supposed to be. Sure, put a little trigger warning at the front if you want to, but rather do
Yeah,
that
'cause-
than cut that out.
Yeah, because I remember seeing the original cartoons and then seeing reruns on some kids' channel, and they cut a lot of stuff out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure anybody watching a Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner cartoon knows not to try that stuff at home.
Exactly.
And besides,
Those
that's how
top-
you thin the herd.
Yeah. Or your Tom and Jerry's when they were in the
Oh, yeah.
kitchen, and the cook was there, and that all got, you mustn't do that. Well, that's how it was. Well, it's all shit.
I let him have it, boss, just like you said.
I will take him and I will love him and I will squeeze him.
What the
I will call him.
George?
Boy, I say boy.
Yeah, boy.
Because I like the way that Family Guy would play Close to the Edge.
Oh god,
Yeah.
yeah.
And one of the
American
ones that
Dad.
made me laugh really heartily, because it was the way it was done was so funny. It would do, the cutscene thing.
Yeah, the cutaways.
And it cuts to Peter on this raft with this huge black guy, and it's clearly that scene from Mice and Men.
Mm.
And he's there going, and he's going, "Don't ever say that word again." for it. Yeah, cool. Oh, man.
There you are. One of my all-time favorite Family Guy episodes. Oh, where are you? There it is. Bang.
Oh, Queen.
Killer Queen.
Yeah.
Name of the episode. Yeah, here's $50. I'm taking this album. And then he torments Stewie with it. Stewie's like on the verge of, ready to like end everything. It's that robot. He killed Queen and he's going to kill me. He didn't kill Queen. They're all fine. Most of them are fine. Anyways.
I like the bit when they reference Axel F.
Oh yeah.
That was very funny. And another. That's great.
Oh, so good.
And what was the other one they did? Everybody's heard about the word. That whole thing. And then, of course, the fight with the big chicken.
The chicken fights, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
At one point, they're like, wait, what were we fighting about?
Yeah. We've, as a family, I don't know if I should be proud of this, but as a family, we watched every single episode of Family Guy over dinner.
Yeah.
On consecutive nights. We literally just, like, every time we sat down for dinner, we put an episode of Family Guy. And we just went through from season 1 through to all the last one, I think the most recent one was a few weeks ago. But and we're doing the same now with American Dad, which I think is incredibly good as well.
Yeah, I didn't get into American Dad to the same level that I got into.
I've got to the point now where American Dad is. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's on a par.
I still enjoy it, but Family Guy's up here for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
Family
again,
Guy's, yeah.
I got into
absolutely
Bob's
the best.
Burgers. 'Cause remember,
Yeah.
I
I've
watched
never
it
watched
right
Bob's
from the opening
Burgers.
ones. Now I got into that
Never watched it.
as the characters began to become more embellished. Go on then. Waited all day. There you go. Okay. Are you a happy husky? See, all gone, all done. Okay. You got the last chocolate because you're actually a good girl. No, she's not a good girl. But highly intelligent. I show her something once, and she kind of gets it. Show her a second time. Yep. Okay, got it. Cool. She's very trainable and getting there very quickly, but she does have this streak in her that when everybody's asleep or not looking, ooh, okay, I can do what the fuck I want now. Don't you? You deliberately stay up, don't you? So you can. Little moo. And if I find my shaver out on the bloody lawn again tomorrow morning, there will be trouble. Already had to buy a new head for it. Didn't I? Yes. Yeah. It just husky puppies are just not like other dogs, other puppies, other breeds. There's something above and beyond with them. Because Nelly and Siri never liked this at all. So there you go. What are you looking for, woman? Are you deliberately going round and walking on the expression pedals? You bloody are, aren't you? That's 3.
It's a game.
Put on full. Leave them alone.
It's like don't touch the floor. That's the game.
She goes, oh look, an expression
The
pedal.
floor,
No.
the floor is lava.
Look, she's bloody going round deliberately walking on them. What a moo. You really are a moo. Aren't you? Hey? What I thought was funny the other day when Fiona goes, she goes, oh, she's a good girl though, she's all right. I mean, yeah. And then literally a couple of hours later it's, oh, you little cow, you've eaten my earbuds. I'm there going, yeah, she's really good, isn't she? She's a lovely, lovely dog. She's going, oh, shut up. Amazon. Earbuds, preferably made of metal. Got those
Dead
new
Man,
hose locks
yeah.
coming today as well. They arrived, so I can use the jet wash again now because you
Hey.
ate the hose lock off it. And when I say ate the hose lock off it, I mean ate it.
Yeah.
It's just tiny, tiny little plasticky bits all over the lawn. Yes, she is expressing herself, and what she's expressing is absolute hate for anything that she deems unworthy, and she will remove it from existence. Can you imagine if Lily was given the infinity glove?
Oh God. Yeah.
Half the shit on the planet suddenly disappears for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Well, it saves me eating it.
Or it ends up in the garden.
Yeah, in 1,000 pieces.
Yeah. Dead Man, the day Yamaha does a GX2 will be the day Milli Vanilli gets inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Tell you what, somebody wants to do a really decent GS1. Proper.
Well,
I know a company that can. I don't think they will.
Exils Labs do Chaos, which is essentially a GS1 on steroids.
Oh, there, Robbie, you can clear this up for me. What was it you played to me that was supposed to be a CS80? And you played the brass and the strings and guitar and everything, and I said, this is the most awful...
System 77 by Softtube.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. The soft.
It is the soft tube one.
Yeah.
All right, because
That's the one.
I was dissing the Zills one, and it turns
Oh,
out
the
it
Zills
wasn't-
one's not even out yet.
No,
Yeah.
so it wasn't. Yeah, but I thought you might have had a copy.
I have high hopes for the Zills ones because he does good work, but
So it's the soft tube one.
the Softtube one
That's
was
really because soft tube's mini
is
was stonking.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't get it.
Well, it just makes you wonder. You know, they must have had some hardware to compare,
Yeah,
or you know, actually model from.
it was calibrated by the village idiot
Yeah.
because that was
Yes, it was.
oh
I mean,
dear.
it's a nice synth. If you
Yeah,
take away the fact that it's supposed to be a CS80, it's a nice synth. But like you say, I mean, the Arturia one was far. I mean, Jesus, the Polyroot 12 gets closer
Oh yeah.
to being a CS80 than the other one does. Yeah.
well, I mean, sometimes just to quell the brow, I fire up Behringer's Vintage just to give me a rough idea of what it could be like.
Fuck me, that was a pile of shite, wasn't it?
Unbelievable.
Have you noticed how
I got like nothing out of that at all.
Well, they don't say anything about that anymore, do they?
they literally
No.
have
Not a word.
disowned it.
Oh yeah.
There was like a couple of weeks. Hey, we've got this plugin. And then like nothing. It's like fucking tumbleweed.
Yeah.
And not that it's surprising because I would want to disown it. If that was my child, I would have it fucking drowned at birth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
I
a
installed
horrible.
it less. I think I uninstalled it less than 24 hours after I got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was.
And even the sort of like the Behringer stalwarts, the people that sort of go, thank you, Behringer, like that
Yeah.
kind of thing, are not mentioning that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, it never happened. It's been retconned.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, is that their first foray into software?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they can be forgiven getting it horribly wrong, I suppose.
But the thing is, they made such a big deal about using this other guy's framework. I forget the name of the guy, but he developed a framework for building software instruments. And they said, yeah, we've used this.
Yeah.
And this, when I was like writing the article, I was doing a bit of research to sort of find out what's going on. And I researched the guy who they were quoting as, because I think they used the terms like designed with or designed in conjunction with this guy. And then when you dug a bit deeper, it was like we built it using his tools. So it wasn't like they'd recruited the guy. It wasn't like they'd got him on the payroll or anything. They just basically used his tools that he makes available to build this synth. And when I researched that guy, he's done a lot of work with Arturia. And I did wonder, has he just, because sometimes people submit patches and then they'll say, oh, I've worked with Arturia on this plugin. Oh, yeah, you've got 5 fucking patches in the factory presets or something. Yeah. But no, this guy is actually listed in Arturia documentation as being one of the developers. So he's clearly, he clearly knows his onions.
Well, the thing, I mean, you can't, it's pure speculation, but why would a guy hand over his framework tools?
Well, that was part of his thing, was that he developed these framework tools that he made available. I can't remember whether they're freely available or whether you have to pay for them. But
how weird.
It's kind of a thing in the software world. If you come up with a way of doing things, you can make it available for people to do with what they want, as long as they license it correctly or credit you correctly or whatever. It might be a Creative Commons thing, but after all the research that I did, I found that the guy who was behind the development tools was actually seemed legit, completely legit. The way that Behringer worded it was as if to say he was involved in the design, but he wasn't directly. He was only involved because they were using his tools, if you see what I mean. So it was, a bit like Arturia did with
what was it?
I forget her name now, but the company fucking hell, somebody in the chat will. Who was the modular people? The girl that Emily, Emily was her name, but what was the company? Mutable. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bert.
Right.
So, in the wording of Mini Freak, or no, Micro Freak, I think it was Micro Freak. They implied that Emily / Mutable had been like a co-designer sort of thing, but all they'd done was license Emily's code, which she made available. Right. So it wasn't if they didn't steal anything. They took everything and they but in the marketing blurb they kind of implied that it was a co thing, and it wasn't. And they since updated it. But
I mean, this is one of the things that annoys me about Behringer, when they do that shit and they don't really need to.
No.
They could come at you straight and you go, yeah, cool. But no, they'd be, always had to do all this fucking weird shit around it.
Yeah. I mean, how many... There are so many companies out there that have built instruments that even in the marketing blurb says this was inspired by or is an homage to or whatever. They don't sort of dance around it too much. And that's fine if you want to say, my new instrument was inspired by, but we've taken that thing, we've tried to replicate it, but we've maybe added a few other things that weren't in the original song. That's fine. That happens. That's how product evolution, product development works. You take somebody's ideas and you say, well, what if we did this or that? But Behringer out and out just kind of go, well, that Oberheim OBXA. Well, here's our Oberheim OBXA, but we've just changed one of the letters. But it's got the same design stuff, and it's almost like they're passing it off.
Yeah.
But everybody knows that it's not a real Oberheim, so they can kind of get away with it.
Well, what was the company?
But there's no reason why they can't build that that UBXA synth, which,
Yeah.
by all accounts, from people that I've spoken to that have played one, Scott McCauley, right, the guy that's done those extra presets for this, he did a couple of preset banks for the UBXA, and I sat there and listened to them and I thought, fuck, I think I might buy this because it sounds great. But why can't they just say, here's the Behringer,
No.
you know, Doody What's it, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it, but not imply that it's one letter away from an OBXA and not use the same graphics. Just build that synth, but just put an original name on it and just say we were inspired by this.
Yeah, but who was it that Behringer tried to sue? Their own product. Sue them over their own product.
Oh.
Where they'd done a clone and then they were trying to sue the actual original manufacturer. It was apparently it was thrown out of court straight away, but they still had a go.
They tried to issue a slap lawsuit on Sequential because somebody at Sequential had spoken negatively about Behringer on the Sequential forums.
Right.
So Behringer threatened to, actually filed a lawsuit against Sequential, and the courts kicked it out. Which, but I mean, Jesus, there are a number of things. But then we can turn around and say, well, what about that time when somebody, when people opened up their Behringer mixers and looked at the printed circuit board, and it still had fucking Mackie.
Oh yeah.
On the circuit boards that they'd literally photocopied, for want of a better phrase. It's honestly, Behringer could, and I've said this 100 times, I've said it once, they could easily bring out all of the stuff they brought out without having to blatantly trade off the name, the design, and all of that other stuff.
Mackie lost in court.
Yeah.
Wow. Right, sometimes in
can't- you
court
can't-
it's all
you
about
can't
who's got the
copyright
most
circuit
money.
board. You can't copyright a circuit.
You can't copyright a circuit.
No. So, but Roland won twice. So but I'd have more respect for Behringer if they just issued everything they issued, but
Just do more
stop
stuff
trying
like
to
the Neutron.
pass it off.
Just do more stuff like the Proton, the Neutron.
Just be original, but bring some originality to it, and just say, look, we were inspired by, the classic American, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Leave.
And nobody would be under any other impressions to that's that what they're referring to as an Oberheim, but they're not using a name that is one letter away from what the Oberheim was. They're not using a design that is exactly the same. Same font, same color scheme, same pinstripes, all this kind of stuff. Just for fuck's sake, just do that. We get that you're saving money by not only doing everything surface mount and doing it in China where there's cheap labor and stuff, and you're saving money by not investing in R&D.
Right.
Or certainly the only R&D you do is reverse engineering, which is going to be a lot cheaper than original R&D. Fine. Okay, we get that. That's fine. That happens.
I said.
Noah, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, really. We're talking
Leave
here.
him alone.
Yeah.
Alone.
As we were saying,
Go on.
there's a good point in the chat. Didn't they do that with the DeepMind?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that the DeepMind was inspired by the Juno, but it went a little beyond. It did things slightly differently, and it's a well-respected and well-thought-of instrument.
Except
And
the
the
VCF VCAs are stolen from
Exactly.
Analog Renaissance.
Exactly.
He said they didn't even bother changing the component list or the board design. He said they just ripped it clean off.
Yeah. But I've sort of reached the point now where I go, look, Behringer are just going to do what Behringer do. whatever I say and whatever most of us say will not make a single jot of difference. They, as a company, whether it's a collective will or whether it's the will of just Uli himself, and knowing what I know about the way that he micromanages the business, it's going to be down to him. But I've got to that point where I just thought, you can't do anything about it. You're never going to change it. And all the while they do what they do, they sail as close to the wind as they possibly can, knowing that they are inches away from breaching some copyright or some intellectual property. And if anybody wants to challenge it, they've probably got enough financial clout behind them to get that dismissed or overruled in court, or just threaten, and
or drag it out long enough
yeah,
that they run out of money.
They'll back down. So look, they're going to do what they're going to do, but this whole kind of reverence that, like, Uli Berenger is the savior of, no, I'm all for a company setting themselves up to be able to build instruments or tools, whatever they are, for everyone, at a price point where everybody can afford this stuff. I'm all for that. I'm all for putting that kind of stuff into the hands of more and more people because they're doing it at a lower price point. But just show a modicum of respect and a modicum of restraint, and just be a bit nicer about it. That's all. And Uli Berenger isn't the savior, or he isn't a sword waving warrior in the face of whatever. Uli has been very clever, very astute. He's built a business where he's got a manufacturing facility that manufactures the components as well as the products. He's reduced his costs. He's been very, very clever in the way he's done all of that. Hold my hands up. That's capitalism at its finest. He's managed to reduce the cost to a minimum, and therefore he can sell things at a low price, and they will sell 10 times more than what they would if they were at a higher price. And so he's reaping the rewards, and then he's reinvesting, and he just keeps churning this stuff out, and it seems to be working. I ain't got a problem with that, but just be a bit fucking nicer about it,
Yeah, but eventually he will reach the bottom of the well. Then what?
Yeah, I know.
The vintage market created this issue in the first place, where ARP Odysseys were fetching nearly 3.5K. And they're not worth 3.5K.
No.
Yeah, no.
And people go, yeah, I'd love an Odyssey, but I can't afford 3.5K. Then this Odyssey-like product comes along, and yeah, it sounds a lot like an Odyssey, and it's how much? Fucking hand it over.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that works, and they'll make profit from it. Why do they have to do all this cloak and dagger bullshit with it? Just, because why do you want all that extra noise in your business? Just clone stuff that you can clone, or even make it look different and give it a different name. Fucking half the planet isn't going to know.
But one thing I think that the company, I won't say Uli himself, but because I don't know with any certainty, the kind of impact or effect that he has on the personal level.
Yeah.
But if that, what the company have discovered is that by playing into that negativity, and it's a very, for want of a better phrase, it's a very Trumpian thing, is, you play into that negativity and you say, yeah, but, we're just trying to be the good guys. We're trying to give you the instruments you desire at a price you can afford, and everyone else is against us. Everyone else is telling us that we're bad or we're evil or whatever, and they play into that massively. And they don't have to, because I know this community. I've been in it for God knows how many years. If somebody comes along with an instrument that's a tenth of the price of the vintage version, and it does pretty much, ballpark, they'll fucking buy it. They don't need you to whip up a fake frenzy of fighting against the establishment type thing. Just fucking come along. And I remember, back in the 90s, there were a bunch of companies, a lot of them very small independent companies, coming up with 303 clones, because in the 90s the 303 was like everybody had to have a 303, and there were companies that are bringing out 303 clones, for want of a better phrase, but they were clones of the circuitry in 1U rack mount units. There was a thing called the Freebase 303, and there was other units that gave you that 303 sound, and they didn't build them to look like 303s. They said, look, if you want that sound, we've stuck it in a 1U rack mount module with MIDI, and on the front you've got the filter and the cutoff knobs and the envelope shaping, and you've got all of that there, so you can do that, that whole acid thing. It's just in a 1U silver rack mount unit with some orange labels on it, and that's it. Nothing else. Nobody batted an eyelid. Nobody then said, oh, you're ripping off Roland. No, everybody was like, thank fuck for that, because at the moment, if I want the 303 sound, I'm going to have to go and find and spend stupid amounts of money to own an original 303. Here comes a company that says for $499, you can have our rack mount module, and it'll give you that 303 sound. Nobody fucking Novation did it with the bass station.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in fairness, Roland, like Yamaha, had done with the 303. They weren't interested at all. They'd washed their hands of it. They didn't give a shit. So let them.
Exactly. So yeah, and they did, and companies did, and nobody batted an eyelid.
Yeah.
But then, some years later, Behringer come along, and they give you a hardware product that is, to all intents and purposes, I mean, we would know, if you held a 303 and a TD3 up, we would all be able to say, oh, that's the Behringer, that's the Roland.
Yeah.
But it's close enough, and people, what really, I know it's silly, but what annoys me is that people that say, oh yeah, I've got a 303 now, and what they've got is a TD3.
Yeah.
And they genuinely in their head believe they've got the thing that is a clone of. And look, I've got a TD3 over there. I bought one purely out of interest. I bought it secondhand off a guy for about 80 quid. Thought, I've always liked the 303. I like that. I'll buy it. And do you know what? It gives me a 303 experience.
Yeah.
Is it exactly the same? Probably not.
Do you think you could swap the knobs over?
Probably.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, because we'd have one come in with a broken knob, or the knob's missing, and I go, can you find us one? You go looking, they go, they want fucking how much for this piece of bloody silver painted plastic?
I don't know where it is now, but yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Case in point, the thing that's sitting over my right shoulder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I've never played one of those, but when I've spoken to people that have got the Behringer 2600 that know the ARP 2600, to a man or woman, they will say, it's not the same. It doesn't sound the same. It gets you ballpark.
Yeah.
It gets you the tactical experience, but it's not going to sound exactly the same as an original 2600, and that's fine.
What I would be interested to know, does it have the ARP 2600 fault? All the 2600s did it. If you turn the speaker volume sliders up to 3/4, you get more noise than signal.
Yeah.
And as soon as you go past that and go to the top, the noise disappears and it's all signal again. And every single 2600 does it. But it was all part of it. Some people would have it in there just to rough up the sound. But I would imagine it's not in the clone, because the clone would be cleanly made,
Yeah, exactly. But I don't begrudge anybody building a synthesizer that operates in the same, a bit like Tom has done with the TC5000, where it replicates the whole 2500 workflows, user interface, but it's using his his circuit designs.
Yes.
But don't try and pass it off. I mean, the Behringer 2600 and the ARP 2600. I mean, why don't you just call it the Behringer? Just be clever with the name. Just all it takes. You don't have to pay someone too much to sit down for 5 minutes and come up with a clever name that implies some sort of familiarity but doesn't rip off IP. I mean, you can't copyright a number, so I mean it's. No.
But when you watch people paying $9,000 for 2600,
there's absolutely, I don't blame anybody from buying a Behringer 2600 if they want that experience. But as Dina would point out, they're trading off her father's IP, his ideas, his designs that he came up with, and they're not even paying any kind of lip service. They're not even saying inspired by the great Alan R. Perlman in their blurb.
Yeah.
Let alone,
and that wouldn't cost them anything, would it?
Wouldn't cost them a thing. Yeah. And they wouldn't. I'm sure they wouldn't miss a small donation from every sale of of any of their ARP clones.
Yeah.
To the foundation. And just a simple gesture like that would appease so many of those negative comments of those people. I actually I've been thinking the last few weeks about doing a PSN special simply entitled "The Problem with Behringer" or something like that, and where we gather some people from around the industry and just like have a round table and say, so let's thrash this out. I'm not anti Behringer. There's a place for a company that does what they do.
Yeah.
I just think they could just do it slightly differently. It wouldn't cost them anything, and it wouldn't cost them any extra money. It wouldn't cost them any sales, and it would actually just garner them some modicum of credibility or decency. But they seem to want to trade on that negative thing, which seems to be a very common trait these days, that if you're given an option between being the nice guy and being the bad guy gets you more clicks and hits and likes. And that's what they seem to do. I mean, whoever's behind their social media stuff needs a fucking slap. Because they're constantly, people talk about us behind, they talk badly about us. Mate, just do your fucking job.
Yeah.
Just sell the products. Don't try and whip up emotions.
The people who haven't got enough money to throw around like that, no matter how, because as well as I do, and any true synthesist here will tell you the same, that yes, there have been times when I really wanted that keyboard and I couldn't afford it, and I broke the bank getting it. It's part and parcel of who we are.
Yeah.
So when something comes along like, £1,500 for the replica of a 55, right? You get that 55 experience. You don't get the 55 sound. You can't get the 55 sound.
No.
There's no way in hell you can get that 55 sound. There's a reason the 55 is as big as it is, because we're talking big components with leakages and what have you, and that's where all that sound comes from. But it's fine, and it does it beautifully, and it's got the MIDI, and all the rest of it, and you go, yeah, cool. But it wouldn't cost them anything to say, as made famous by this band, that band, and all the other, and all the rest of it, and designed by the great Bob Moog. It wouldn't cost them anything. If anything, it gives more credibility to the product they're trying to sell. But they seem to see it as kind of like it's distracting something away from Behringer.
They want to be seen as the
innovator and not the copier.
Well, no, I think
kind of thing.
I think they just want to be seen as the disruptor. They want to be seen as the person that's come in and said, "We're going to shake everything up. everything that you believe right now is false, or is been spun, and you're being ripped off, and we're just going to come in and say, hey, we can do this at a tenth of the price. You can have, a keyboard like the OBXA for 725 quid, which is what it is at the moment. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, I've actually thought there's no way that Behringer are going to send me anything to review, because they don't do that. That's just a complete no-no. Mm-hmm. So the only way I'm ever going to do any kind of Behringer assessment, whether it's for my own personal assessment or for one of the people that I work for, is to go out and fucking buy one. And I thought, well, 725 quid. If I don't like it, I'll probably sell it for 500. I might have lost a couple of hundred quid, but I probably made that back. In my fees for whatever the review is.
Well, they Behringer wouldn't want you to do a review of any of the stuff, because you as a reviewer would then compare it with the original piece, and that's not going to be seen in a good light, because it can't be as good as the original piece in terms of the expectation of the sound, because otherwise it would cost more than it does.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I was talking to the bosses at Sound on Sound a few years ago, just off the record sort of thing, and I said, well, what do you think about this the whole Behringer thing? And they said, look, we'd love to review their stuff, but they won't engage with us. They won't send us the stuff, so we have to go out and source it, and that just takes longer. But if you go back through the back issues of Sound on Sound, when they have reviewed the Behringer gear, I think they did the drum machines, the RD8,
RD8, RD9.
Yeah.
And they might have done something else. They might have done one of the keyboards. They've been favourable reviews.
Yeah.
They've picked them up in terms of maybe the build quality isn't what you'd expect in a synthesizer that maybe costs like a Polybrute 12 or a Moog Muse or whatever. But then they on the immediately say, well, you're only paying $399 for this, so you've got to expect that it's maybe going to be more plasticky than something else. But the reviews have always been favourable. But still, Behringer are very keen to push this narrative. We don't send anything out for review. We don't give free gear to people, and they're feeding into this whole free gear thing, which people, whatever industry you're in, whether it's synthesizers or whether it's cars. I know people who write for car magazines, and they are sent a car. Now, they don't get to keep it, because obviously, these are £30,000-40,000 machines. But the car manufacturers send a car to the reviewer, and they get to keep it for 4, 6, sometimes extended periods of time to do the review, and then they'll hand it back. But that individual has the use of that car for that length of time to do the review. That's no different to Arturia sending me their latest synth, and then me having to send it back after a few weeks or months or whatever. It's no different. It happens in every walk of life that a manufacturer will send examples of its products and services to the people who review this stuff, who have an audience that is the target market for that manufacturer. So it just happens. But yet Behringer have just kind of picked up on this thing where there are people out there that say, oh yeah, reviewers get free shit, so they're only ever going to give a positive review. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. But they play on it because they know that by playing on that, they're feeding the sentiments that are already fostered by those people. They're playing to the audience. The audience already think that reviewers are shills or bought. The companies pay, in inverted commas, for positive reviews. That just isn't the case. But the thing is, I can sit here until I'm blue in the face and say it's just not the case. But if you think that it's the case because you have no evidence otherwise, you're not going to take my word for it, because people send me stuff to review, and sometimes they ask for it back and sometimes they don't. You might deem that as being a paid for review. It's not a paid for review. I can send that stuff back at any time. If I choose to keep it and they don't want to ask for it back, well, then, great. I'm not going to argue with that. But if I don't like it, I'm not going to hang on to it. And I'm going to say that I don't like it. And the companies don't, I'm not obliged to the companies to say anything. They know for a fact that anything they send to me, whether it's, whichever company it might be, if it's shit, I'll say it's shit.
Yeah.
But you can't tell these people otherwise, because they've got it. It's in their heads that, reviewers get free stuff, and therefore they will only ever say positive things about them. Rubbish. You only have to read through any edition of Sound on Sound, and see how many bad reviews, or not bad reviews, but reviews that are not glowing or positive.
Fully,
that have concerns. Or
besides, if you
issues.
kept giving glowing reviews for things that weren't, because you were getting
get
paid,
found out.
how long could you stay being a reviewer
Exactly.
before nobody's taking any notice of your
Exactly.
articles anymore?
It's like Gordon. How long has Gordon Reed been reviewing synthesizers? I mean, 30, almost. Well, hang on.
Yeah.
Sound on Sound is 85, so it's 40 years this year.
Yeah. If something's shit, he'll tell you it is.
Gordon tells it exactly like it is.
Yeah.
And I will guarantee you, week after week, Gordon is sent product to review.
Yeah. Because Gordon's got some really serious top-end OCD, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so something's really got to be right
Yeah.
to get a good review.
Yeah. Which is why when he gave, I think it was the Cherry Audio Up Soloist, his review of that was absolutely glowing. And that to me says, that's a fucking good synthesizer. Because if Gordon Reed can't find a problem with a piece of, an instrument, then, yeah. But nobody, it's... Maybe it's a print versus YouTube thing. You don't get Gordon Reed product reviews on YouTube. They're only on print.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a thing. Maybe when people see people get sent stuff, that they go, you got sent stuff.
No, I don't know. Well, it depends. It depends on the individual, I suppose. Because, people could be like that anyway, regardless.
Yeah.
So, depends on the individual. But I don't know.
But like you say, I mean, if you were to give glowing reviews of everything, there will come a time when somebody
the flags will go up soon enough, mate.
Have you ever not liked something,
Yeah.
which is,
I mean, 9 times out of 10, even if something's pretty shit, I do look to see if there's some redeeming feature. Like say, oh no, it sounds horrible, blah, blah, it's too expensive. However, bloody blah, just something to pull back with, because it's very rarely you get a product that just has nothing, well, apart from, case in point, that Behringer Vintage, there's nothing going for it at all. Just wondered at what point they thought, should we release this? Would have been said, It's like, do you think we might look at this a little harder before we let it go? But I don't know.
Oh, and on that note,
What we on? Yeah, I was looking
3.
actually. I was going to see we're heading towards 3:30 a.m.
I didn't get to bed till about 4 o'clock yesterday.
No, I don't think Fiona went to bed until about 7 o'clock yesterday morning. She was still asleep on a settee at 4 o'clock this afternoon, put it that way.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So. So Muggins here. Oh, Muggins here. What an idiot. Again, bowls full of washing up. Right. So they're washing up.
Matt's missus has just posted a very appropriate meme.
I say, normal people are sleeping right now. Weirdos are reading this right now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, did all the washing up, didn't I? And then when Fiona woke up and she goes, "Oh, you all right?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "You okay? You stayed up until stupid o'clock?" And she went, "Yeah." So yeah. I said, "Go on, I'll make you a cup of tea. We've got lovely clean cups in the front room because I've done all the washing up." And she goes, "You forgot we've got a dishwasher again, haven't you?"
I was going to say, you did the washing up. Do you mean you just loaded the dishwasher?
Never had a dishwasher. Never. Now
That
suddenly
meant
we
getting
have
your
a
wife
dishwasher.
drunk.
I cannot get into my head that we have a dishwasher. And
Well,
of course, it's
wasn't
one of
it-
those ones that look like all the other cupboards. It's just
like-
a cupboard.
Camouflage.
Yeah, and I just never remember that we have a dishwasher.
I always thought loading the dishwasher meant getting your wife drunk.
No, the second part she does on her own anyway. She doesn't need any help from me. So, look, wine. Everywhere she goes, she leaves wine behind. There's wine all over the house. Yeah, I just can't. It's sort of like, yeah, you've got a dishwasher. Idiot. Oh, dear.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to head off, I think.
Yeah, you and me both, mate. I am starting to feel it now.
Yeah.
Oh. And I imagine Siri's downstairs on the settee waiting for me to come down. So she can get on my back like a bloody... She's like a little backpack. I lay down on the settee and she just... And I get a leg over this shoulder, resting her head on me, going...
Bless.
No,
I've got a
don't
wife
know.
that does that.
Yeah, well, I
Same noise.
don't know, what it's like to sleep in a bed without having a dog on my head. But Siri's the only one I've ever had that, you wear like a hat.
Yeah.
She's such a daddy's girl, it's ridiculous. I mean, really ridiculous. So, she does this thing where if I say hello to Lily, for instance, she comes over and she just sort of... like that. Yeah, my head, Dad. Ignore that one, if you don't mind. You're not allowed to touch other dogs. No. She just eases in. Little moo. Right then.
All right,
little gentle spoons. So there's going to be like hardware jams later today, isn't it? So
Right.
maybe how about we have a look at some Jam Tabba Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. Tuesday is New Year's Eve, isn't
Yeah, that's
it?
New Year's Eve.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So we'll be getting a takeaway and all sorts, and might be
Well-
available sort of sometime after that and before midnight.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
Yeah,
see
well,
how it goes. Play it by
well,
ear.
see how it goes. Yeah, because if Fiona turns on the world's strongest man again,
You'll be up here.
there will be a pub
Mm.
Tuesday evening, night.
Well,
whatever it
hopefully
is.
YouTube will fucking tell me about it this time.
Yeah, I don't know why that.
No,
It worked for me.
no, I
My
didn't get
watch
anything.
went right off. I was like, oh, pub.
Unless, cause what time did you
Mind you,
start
I've done it before now. It's go notify me, and even I don't get a notification that my own show is starting.
Oh no! Did you start? Oh no, it was
Probably.
about 6 minutes before midnight.
Oh, literally,
Yeah.
it was just about 6 minutes before midnight, and then boom.
My phone, right? So this is what it is. I know I didn't see it. My phone, I set it to go into
What, like
like
sleep
do not
mode?
disturb sleep mode
Yeah.
at quarter to midnight. So from quarter to midnight, all my notifications get suppressed. And
Oh,
I've just
that's
had a look, and it's sitting there in the notifications.
I
but it got
don't
suppressed.
have that facility on my iPad because I listen to my audiobooks on my iPad at night, and sometimes you get this ding. Come on, go what? And somebody has said something vacuous on the other side of the planet. I go, oh, I'm awake now. I've got to try and get to sleep again.
Yeah, or I'll be half asleep at like 11 o'clock at night and my phone's going off and someone's texting me like, do you have any idea what time it is?
Yeah.
So, which
Or
is
we
why
go,
I set mine.
Can you fix
Yeah,
my
I need to.
polymog? I'm in Perth. Yeah. No. I'm in bed.
Yeah.
Or I'm having dinner.
Yeah.
We're having issues with our DVD player again.
All right, night everybody. Stay
See you
cool,
later.
stay safe. Remember, there's this
Yeah.
horrible bug going around, so keep your heads down.
Yeah.
And
Take it easy.
if all goes well, see you perhaps Tuesday, where we can
Yeah.
perhaps annihilate some tracks.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Did I mention how much I love my QX3?
You did.
This is beautiful.
I remember you saying it earlier. Well, you're going to have to use it on Tuesday then.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah. All right then,
All right, guys.
everybody.
Everyone
Take
See you
care.
later.
Look after
Bye-bye.
yourselves. Bye bye.
Bye bye.